Hey everyone, welcome to episode 37 of The Depths, with your host, Atramentum_X and me. Today, we're discussing the parasocial tightrope, what parasocial relationships are, and how they function within content creation and virtual sex work. Part 1. The act of consuming a piece of media or content and feeling like you're involved in or relate to it is called a parasocial interaction. Continuing to think about, reference, or seek to interact with the characters in that media after that parasocial interaction has ended indicates the formation of a parasocial relationship. There are several psychological models that define and stratify parasocial relationship types. I'll be focusing on the levels of parasocial relationship model by Giles and Maltby, based on the Celebrity Attitude Scale by McCutcheon. Level 1. Entertainment social. This makes up the majority of parasocial relationships. People are drawn to a public figure because they are a source of entertainment. Level 2. Intense personal. This level is characterized by intense, compulsive feelings of attachment and devotion, and can lead to skewed, unhealthy perceptions of intimacy and personal investment. Level 3. Borderline pathological. Individuals at this level may experience uncontrollable compulsions and fantasies that intrude into their daily lives and may take drastic actions to monopolize or control the object of their affection. Level 1, entertainment social parasocial relationships can be healthy and beneficial for both creator and viewer. They provide entertainment and can help relieve boredom, loneliness, and depression. When a supporter travels down the pyramid, these benefits give way to unhealthy and eventually pathological behaviors that are delusional and dangerous. As our world has moved further into the digital age, access to third places, which are physical social hubs such as parks, cafes, libraries, and town squares, has diminished significantly. Real-life socialization is a vital building block in healthy mental adjustment. It stimulates the production of social endorphins that bind to opioid receptors in the recipient's brain, leading to feelings of ease and belonging, and even significant pain relief. The decline of easy access to third spaces has led to a major increase in feelings of isolation, loneliness, depression, and social anxiety, driving people to seek digital spaces to replace them. Part 2. Typical celebrities, such as film or music stars, have next to no direct personal connection with their audiences. Their revenue comes from third-party sources such as product sales, appearance fees, and endorsements. Online content creators, however, are personally connected to their audience to the point that they can recognize individual members and are keenly attuned to their movement and tastes. Viewers may spend money or channel points to interact with the creator and their content in real time.
Senpai?
Not now, Kohai. Daddy's busy.
Or commission custom content tailored to their preferences. Although often misused as a catch-all term for fan misbehavior, parasocial relationships are actually a content creator's stock in trade. We depend on them to form our communities, secure repeat viewers, attract new viewers, and generate revenue. Whether we're streaming, posting videos, or other forms of content creators are essentially selling intimacy. Money or time is exchanged for the chance to elicit a reaction or purchase individual attention from the performer.
Daddy's busy.
On its own, this is a fun and harmless source of pleasurable entertainment that sits at level 1 of the Celebrity Attitude Scale from Part 1. When people have no other sources of social endorphins, however, the high they get from these parasocial interactions can become addictive, pushing them down the scale into unhealthy attachment and expenditure of resources on their source. Maintaining a healthy and ethical relationship with viewers requires content creators to place and enforce strict boundaries regarding acceptable behavior towards other community members and the performers themselves. Creators must be vigilant to ensure that they're not exploiting their fans' parasocial connection, nor allowing themselves to be exploited by fans using their spending as a coercive bargaining chip. I hope that this video has been helpful to explain what parasocialism is and dispel some of the heavily negative associations it has within the online content creation community. Tonight we'll be discussing the creation and transaction of intimacy and how creators can maintain a healthy parasocial balance within their communities. Thanks for watching this primer video on the topic. See you in the studio.
And welcome into this episode of the Depths Podcast. I'm your host, Atramentum_X, variety streamer and LewdTuber. Welcome to episode 37, the Parasocial Tightrope. Parasocialism is a dirty word in the VTuber community. We tend to use it to describe, let's just say, fans and creators who tend to transgress boundaries. However, as the video has just explained, it's a bit more complicated than that, because even you watching this stream right now makes you just a tiny bit parasocial. If you care about any of these people sitting on this couch, you're a little bit parasocial, and that's not a bad thing. With me, as always, is my host, Lady Mystiq. Say hi, Mystiq.
Hi, everyone.
This was Mystiq's idea for an episode, so we are definitely thanking her for the introductory video and also the topic at hand.
Very, very welcome.
We're going to have our panel do some introductions. We're going to go starting directly next to me with Susie. Susie is making a return appearance on the podcast. This is Susie's, I believe, third appearance on the pod. Welcome in, Susie.
Hey, thanks so much for asking me to be here again. I am a streamer here on Twitch. I'm a Twitch partner. I also make YouTube videos, and I also stream on spicier sites. I would say that I'm actually making a comeback to Twitch.
Hell yeah.
And I'm primarily I'm a streamer on other sites right now, but we're getting there. I am also a voice actress, so I am a voice in a lot of video games and animations you might see on the internet. And last but not least, I love cats.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Susie. Susie is obviously a talented voice actress and is a trusted voice in VTuber matters, and that's why we're more than happy to have Susie back on the podcast. Making their first appearance on the podcast, all the way from Asia, is Shimizu.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. Obviously, I'm Shimizu, and I start at Twitch, but then I think currently I'm focusing on the more spicy side, but I kind of try and balance it. I don't really do much. I'm honestly just a little goober on the internet, and I hope you guys have fun looking at my weird content.
Shimi is putting herself down a tiny bit. Shimi is a LewdTuber, streams on Fansly, has the biggest completion record of lewd games that I've seen. Beaten so many of these lewd games, actually. It's impressive.
Wow.
I usually play them for a stream or two and give them up.
I'm just a degenerate.
And we're all degenerates here. Thank you so much, Shimizu, for joining the podcast today. Next up, also making their first appearance, is VTuber.
Hi! I am Burb, but not a bird. V2 is my mother. You may just call me Burb. And I hail all the way from Canada. I'm just a ghoul. I just do my silly little Twitch thing. I do a little bit of lewd content on a separate platform that shall not be named. But otherwise, I am on my little stream grind, and I am so happy to see my community members in chat. Hello, guys. Mwah, mwah. Welcome in.
Burb is a prolific just chatting streamer, but also does the spicy content. Very chill, very cool. I'm a long-time admirer of Burb, and I'm happy to have Burb on the podcast today. Yeah.
Oh my god, thank you.
Making a return appearance from the Boyfriend Experience episode in full color, believe it or not, is Craven.
Hi, my name's Craven. I'm an anti-con VTuber. I stream horror games. I do ASMR. I sell my little silly audios on the Patty. And I do some spicy streams on the Blue Twitch and
We can say Fansly if it's
Fansly. Yeah, I do that. And
Yeah.
Just shouts.
Didn't know if we were
allowed.
allowed to. I didn't know if we were allowed to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're also we're not massive on this channel, so it's okay. No one's gonna notice, I think.
Yeah, as long as we're not linking to
Don't
it.
clip
it's
it and
fine.
ship it, folks.
Yeah.
Don't clip it and ship it.
Yeah, but Craven, you were saying?
no, I think that's about it. Yeah.
Craven made an appearance, as I mentioned previously, on the Boyfriend Experience. Craven is I would say, one of the role models for like male VTubers in the space. Him and his community.
Aww.
Yeah, no, for real. We welcome him and his community into the podcast today. And last but not least, Lady Mystiq.
Hey everyone, I'm last but not least Lady Mystiq, aka Why Doesn't That Pink One Shut Up? I stream mainly over on Fansly. I do a lot of pre-recorded content, and I stream occasionally over on Twitch. You'll see my content promoted on Twitter, so if you follow me over there, you can see everything happening. But yeah, it's a pleasure to be back. Is this going to be a good episode?
Absolutely. Yeah, so chat, this is the way the podcast works. I have a list of prepared questions, but you may ask questions at any time in chat. I will acknowledge them and I'll get to them as I get to them. Our guests will jump in and sort of speak to whatever they feel is appropriate for the question. Don't mind, there may be some crosstalk because this is an unstructured discussion, but yeah, let's just get into it. So we did have that video just now explaining the 3 levels of parasocialism. That's not the only framework to describe parasocialism, but it's the one that we found the most useful and effective to sort of describe the 3 levels of, like, just, you know, from watching a streamer to like being obsessed with a streamer, basically. But I want to talk. Yeah, go ahead.
Susie actually made a very good point that I didn't understand until I thought about it like overnight. The sort of reverse pyramid, the funnel, if you will, is structured to show like the different levels and obviously the number of fans that sort of reside in each one. It is a spectrum, and the reason that it isn't shown as a spectrum is because I couldn't find a spectrum triangle asset on Canva.
Yeah, you got it.
I was so confused because I was like, I had done the reading, and of course I didn't realize, I didn't sort of process that nobody else had. So it is a spectrum. It's not just like you're at level 1, you're at level 2. And, you know, obviously as lewd tubers, we have more intense relationships than, you know, a content creator who sort of has a higher level of celebrity. As you go up the celebrity scale, you have less and less sort of individual contact with your fans. So yeah, it is supposed to be a spectrum, and I only realized last night that I hadn't made that clear.
Yeah, I can help you make a gradient triangle spectrum thing in Canva.
Thank you.
I'm kind of a Canva ace site. I like the Canva, as you can tell from everything on the podcast. But yeah, so let's talk about parasocialism and fuckability, which hopefully that word doesn't get me bonked by Twitch, but
Fuck it.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck it. We'll do it live. So
Pansleep.
fancy.
So as lewd tubers, part of our core appeal is fuckability. There is no other way around it except to put it that way. So my question to you guys is, to what extent is selling a sexual fantasy contingent on appealing to one's parasocial urges?
I'm sorry, I missed that question. I was answering a question in chat. Can you repeat yourself?
Okay,
I'm so sorry.
No, not all good. So the question was, to what extent is selling a sexual fantasy contingent on appealing to one's parasocial urges? So I'll start. I mean, like,
might depend on how you're selling it, you know?
True.
Because we sell fantasy all the time in terms of like ASMRs or, you know, like a role play stream or something. But like, it depends on if it's more one-on-one or if it's like a custom too. Like sometimes you can really tailor something to somebody's personal fantasies if it's like a one-on-one like off thing, you know. Right. But like for different types of audience, I think that there's going to be different types of levels of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, because and like Mystiq actually included the customs menus in the video actually.
Yeah, that's what made me think about it.
By the way,
that's what made me think about it.
That is
more,
literally
yeah.
like appealing to somebody like, well, what do you want me to do for you? Like that's a level of like interaction with the creator that you can't like DM like Matt Damon and be like, hey, can you like do this for me? You know?
Well, you can do like cameos now, so it creates some level of intimacy still with like those like videos that you can pay like $500 for and get like your
True.
A-list celebrity to say your name. So I think the parasocialness maybe is like infiltrating our society more and more with the easy access to technology. You know, like technology really bridges the gap between people, so it makes you feel like you're there with somebody.
Yeah. Also, I think, to break down the meaning of the word, para means extra, sort of outside of like direct social interaction. So a social interaction is where you are communicating one-on-one and have kind of an even footing. Or are coming at it from an even footing, where you're like one person talking to another person. When you are a performer talking to a customer, for example, you are selling an experience or a little bit of intimacy, a sexual frisson, a sexual fantasy. But there is a very clear role of customer versus provider or performer. But parasocialism actually encompasses a huge gamut of relating to anyone with any kind of celebrity. Like, I have a parasocial relationship with the Backstreet Boys because I went and listened to like the Backstreet Boys Backstreet's Back a couple of days ago. Parasocial interactions and parasocial relationships literally just mean that you have internalized them as people and think about them when they're not directly in front of you. So you have a massive number of parasocial relationships, and that's fine. It doesn't mean that you're a creepy stalker with someone's face plastered all over your walls and, sending them vials of blood and that kind of thing.
Of course. Yeah, I think what's different nowadays is that people never used to have 24/7 access to like celebrities and creators, but with like Twitter and Discord and Steam, you can hit up your favorite VTuber. Like they don't have to answer you, but like you can do that at all times, and like that is something that has never been the case for like previous entertainers and celebrities.
Absolutely.
But yeah, like in terms of like when it comes down to like actual fuckability, like it's impossible to sell yourself like as a YouTuber or like content creator without sort of digging into that a little bit, I'd say, because like in order for you to find me attractive, in order for you to want that sort of like desire for me, I've got to appeal to your like your wants, your needs, and as Lady Mystiq said, your sense of boredom, loneliness, or want for connection.
I think that we're used as coping mechanisms a lot of the time, like there's like different kinds of coping, right? Some people use like coffee or like nicotine or like different kinds of things that help relieve stress. And I think that like porn is just one of those things that helps people relieve that stress, or having like an intimate interaction with a lewd tuber. I think that that's one way for people to help come back, sit back, and instead of have a glass of wine or open a beer, maybe they do that too, but like this is a new coping mechanism that's evolving with current times.
Well, that's actually a great point, and something that was in sort of covered, or I tried to cover in the video, is that we are increasingly isolated and online. And I think one of the reasons that we're becoming coping mechanisms like that is because people don't have the same sort of level or amount of direct social interaction with other people face to face that they used to. And in order to sort of satisfy their urge, sometimes they pay for it. And, that's what we provide.
I think that
Whether
it also
it's sexual or not. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, no. Sorry, no, go ahead.
No, I was done.
Oh no, okay. Sorry.
So I'd
No,
like
I
I'd
just
like
wanted to
Susie to
agree.
make your point, and then I'm gonna pose a question to the other three panelists about
Yeah.
how do you guys feel about like the impact of isolation and loneliness, and how you might possibly think your content helps to alleviate that. Go ahead, Susie.
No, that was like literally all I was going to say was that we're a safe space too for some people. Like it's not just because people are lonely, it's also because we're a non-threatening like way to engage, you know? Like I like to think about myself like as kind of like a romantic experience with like as training wheels, you know, like some people can't go out there and fucking, you know, talk to somebody in a bar, you know, it's just not possible for them. They have to like gain experience and understanding, and they also just don't feel like equipped to do it these days. So I think that that's one way that YouTubers help is by giving people the tools that they need for real life and showing them kind of a healthy, positive experience with sex and sexual expression. So that was it.
That's a great point, actually. I'm going to make a point about that later, but I did want
Can I add on?
Go
Yeah,
for it. Go
yeah,
for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're like a form of escapism for a lot of people.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
We literally kind of make you feel at home when you don't feel at home. And I think like we depend on like the fantasy, but also like I think like adding on to Susie's point, like she said, like we give you like the social skills. A lot of people these days lack the social skills, especially after the pandemic. It's kind of like we all forgot how to act and how to interact with each other. So doing it through us kind of it's like a safety net. We're like a little safety net for people, I feel.
Can I jump in?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I guess maybe this
I'm
is
done.
to answer your current question and maybe to answer a little bit of the question you were going to pose us afterward. But in my case, I feel like I approach streaming, content creation, whatever, as like a bartending environment. Like people know when I'll be around. They choose when to come in and listen to me. And I guess with my own focus on conversation within chat, I see it as I'm having friendly banter with like my bartending regulars who are coming in for their drink, whatever. I guess in this case for their comfort at the end of a work day. And in turn, I offer them conversation. My hope is to get a little bit of my own social skills back because as we've mentioned with the pandemic, I feel like I got put back a couple years with my own social skills. And I have the privilege of working customer service in a way. So I am still interacting with people in my day-to-day basis, but that might not be the case for the people who are coming into my streams. So I guess I like using the analogy that it's like bartending where I have people, I have their attention, and they might just be coming in to speak with me specifically.
That is a great way to put it. That's how I initially viewed my streams too, actually, like as a bar. Like even banning people,
Maybe
kicking
that's why-
people out of the bar, you know?
Yeah. Do you think that's why some people, like a lot of people, end up doing the bar shtick for their VTuber?
Yeah, I think so.
I think
I know
so,
so many
yeah.
bartenders, VTuber bartenders.
Yeah, I have a similar one. Like I compare it to a beer garden, and when people act inappropriate, you know, they come into my stream and say like, "Oh, can I do this, this, and this?" I'd be like, "Would you be in a beer garden and just like
Would
walk
you
up
pull
to
your
someone
dick
and
out
go
in the beer
like,
garden?
yeah? Would you just go up to them and go like, "Hey, can I lick your nipple?" Like, no, obviously not.
I mean, chat, you can lick my nipple anytime you want. Like that's.
Yeah, I
part
tell
of the
my chat that
perks.
all the time.
Exactly. Yeah.
We have some descenders.
But Craven, how do you feel about like your role in like sort of alleviating like isolation and loneliness?
I feel like I provide a I guess a more like intimate experience with them since like it's like some of you said, like it's hard to like interact outside in the IRL world. But like online it's just like it's just way easier because you're like in the comfort of your home. You're surrounded by so many like people who have like the same interests or like same like I don't know, like common like hobbies or something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's how like communities form. And then you're surrounded by lovely people, and then here's me just like talking to them, flirting with them. It's kind of just like what Shimmy said, like a form of escapism for them. And it's nice.
Having modded for a few like male VTubers who do BFE like content, Doncho, Maito went back in the day, and so on. I did find that a lot of the fans found like male streamers, male VTubers who do that sort of content to be safe. Like, it is safe to flirt with this guy. It's safe to sort of like talk out how you feel attracted to this person. It's safe to listen to this guy, like, play a game or talk about stuff. And like that is something that I think like I know this is true for like both genders, but I think especially for male VTubers, like if you can prove that you are safe and you can prove that you are not pressuring them in any sort of way, like not returning that intense parasocial focus back at them, I think that you are set up to do well, essentially, because people really thrive, because you do not get that at a bar. You don't get it like at a kink club. You don't get it like when you're walking down the street,
There's also an element of safety and control, I think, because, you can't punch me in the face over the internet if I put down a boundary. Like, I can always just close the window and never come back.
Yes.
Which is something you can't do with a person in real life. And also, there's sort of social pressure not to be too much of a dick, because if you do something really out of pocket, I can always, like, twit longer you or whatever. So, like, I think for some people at least, there are safety nets that make them feel more secure and more confident in engaging in any kind of like intimacy or fun, casual intimacy that doesn't necessarily have to lead to anything. Like, there's no demand going to be made of you, ideally, like, that you're not going to be okay with, like, you wouldn't expect Atra to come into your DMs and expect you to like have e-sex because you watch his streams or whatever. Whereas if someone buys you a drink at a bar, they may take that as a sign that you're interested and feel that like you owe them access to your body, which of course you don't. But
I think that still happens though, like in an online space.
Absolutely.
I think that absolutely still happens. There's lots of entitlement, but there's a difference between like when like I was saying earlier, I think that there's a difference between like, I don't treat all of my followers like I'm at a bartender, like I'm a bartender necessarily. I think that there's a certain distance between like just regular followers, and then there's a different distance between me and my subscribers that I talk to like on a daily basis. And then I think there's like even a difference between those people and then the people that support me like the most, like that literally help me with things that I like need, So I think that there's like different levels of intimacy that are that creators like share as a part of themselves up to their own boundary. Everybody has a different boundary and what's comfortable for them and what's not comfortable for them, and like knowing that for yourself first is the most important thing as a creator. And then like, because that's kind of what will determine the level, like if it's like getting to like an unhealthy parasocial relationship, like if it's like something where you're like, okay, well, you can't be like outside my window,
Yeah.
Like, this is not okay. Yeah. But like, I still think that I am like as close with some of my subscribers as I am with friends, even because like they have been there with me through like a lot of different things. And I would say like I would like be lying if I didn't say like I've cried when like somebody that like has supported me for a really long time like suddenly gets like a girlfriend or something. Like, and then they're gone. Like like there's real emotion that goes into that, and I think that it's really important as creators that we have that genuineness with our people, because like if you're not, you're just kind of treating them like little robots coming in and out, you know. So I think that like, yeah, there needs to be a certain level for everybody, but then there's also different levels within that, I think.
That is a good point too. Like, this is not the case for everybody, but
yeah, some people
definitely-
they're only comfortable with like the base, you know.
Of course. Yes. Yeah, not the tip. No, but actually,
Oh,
I
I
actually
didn't
thought
mean it
about.
like that.
No, I know. I'm just teasing you. No, I did talk about this the other day, just on Twitter. It's like, this isn't the case for all fans, but I do really kind of have to internalize that a lot of LewdTuber fans or fans of BFE or GFE content are temporary, because you are temporarily
3 months.
feeling a need that they need. And if they, God willing, get like a relationship or they have that need fulfilled, they may drop you. And I think people are just always not completely prepared for that. When like somebody that used to be in chat every single day or used to buy you nice things, like
they leave.
Yeah, they leave.
Really.
They always do leave too, but like, I mean, I think it's still important to like treat them like the humans they are while they're there.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah, go ahead.
They're not little. I always use. When I first started out, I genuinely just wanted to make friends that were interested in like the same stuff that I'm interested in, right? Because I love a lot of I play a lot of eroge, and it's hard to find people who are interested in like hentai games. Because like, you know, usually it's not something we talk about, and it's even harder if you like are a female, and then if you do that, and then guys will be like, oh, you must be like the most perverted girl ever. Which is not wrong. I am a most perverted
like,
girl ever. But like, it gives you the creep vibe, so when you do it in stream, it kind of like builds a really nice community. I'm really lucky that there aren't any creeps. I mean, there was one or two, but there's always one or two, guys. You can't escape them.
Yeah, you have to weed your garden. Yeah.
Yeah, cull the field.
Cull the field. Yeah, but like because you do that, you will gain a connection with people, and I don't offer like the girlfriend experience, so maybe like my community is more of like, we're just a bunch of friends who goon.
Gooning with friends, the shimmies experience.
I feel like it's like that, and you know, like if I do have people who have graduated, I still talk to them on a daily. Like they've
Just because
I
you
call it a
start as a fan
graduation.
doesn't-
They just like, yeah, like you finally got a girlfriend. Congratulations. So sorry, Mystiq.
That's okay. I was going to say, just because you start as a fan doesn't mean that you can't become a friend or acquaintance or like cross that line. I think that one shouldn't necessarily expect it or demand it. So
No, yeah,
But-
then it'll
Yeah.
never happen.
but it is absolutely possible.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's how Atra and I became friends.
I mean, it's really important that you sort of like prepare yourself to shift, like from like something that might be more intimate to something that might be like more platonic, like honestly, because I think that's how you build sustaining relationships in this community. Because like I definitely have people that I was very much more intimate with when I started doing this journey that we're just straight up friends now because like of circumstances. And like when people complain, oh, I've got no friends or people always leave me, it's like, well, what did you do to maintain that relationship? Or did you just always want to stay in the same dynamic? Because that's not how this works, you know?
Yeah, that is a red flag for me when people are like, everyone always abandons me, everyone always leaves. I don't necessarily think that makes them a bad person, but it does mean like, yeah, I'm skeptical.
It just
like there's a
means-
common denominator here, and it's not them.
Yeah, to be less harsh about it, I just feel like maybe they don't have the coping mechanisms in place yet to sort of deal with people's shifts and energies and vibes and their needs also. Because, you know, if you used to have e-sex every night and they don't need that anymore, like, are you prepared to still be that person's friend? And for a lot of people, the answer is no, you know?
Yep.
Here's a question from chat from Sweetie Bolt. I was just about to ask that. Do panelists believe that if there is a regular there often enough that has genuine conversations and things with them, do you think friendships can form, or do they rather keep it as a streamer-viewer type relationship?
I think it very much depends on the streamer and the
The
person
streamer.
talking to them. Like,
Yeah.
I think everybody's
Everybody's own
different.
personal boundaries. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like we were talking about
like-
earlier.
Atramentum was actually a viewer of mine. That's how I became aware of his existence. That's how we became friends. And like, look at us now. So it absolutely can happen. But those friendships absolutely can form. But I think that if someone really is pushing to become your friend, whether you sort of are interested in that or not,
That's the
where-
red flag. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say push it, because I've had people, like viewers, who will DM me
Yeah.
and be like, Craven, we should play a game, or they'll like hop into like a VC call on the server and be like, Craven, did you answer my DMs yet? And they'll leave like right afterwards. I'm like, that's not how like friendships work. You gotta like have like a be on the same like wavelength. We gotta have like good interactions. Not just like hitting me up randomly on the spot, just straight up like play games and like expecting me to be able to, especially since I'm like a streamer and this is my job. It's like most of my time is spent doing this.
The very important interaction point, I think, is like, are they gonna pay for that time, or that like if you offer that, right? Like if they were paying for something in terms of like playing a video game with me or something, then yeah, I would totally like take time aside if that was something that we had talked about ahead of time and do that. But like there has to be like some type of equal exchange or like respecting of boundaries, because that's not cool like when they're just like out of the blue like, you want to do this? No, like no, I don't even know you.
The main sort of... Oh, sorry, I was about to become a social nerd for a second.
I'll let you be a social nerd in a second. Then
Okay.
I will say I do see this a lot, especially when it comes like not fan to creator, but creator to creator, which is like what Craven's mentioning here, is like the friendship speed run, where people try to just like force that intimacy with you as quickly as possible, in which they don't really care to work with your level of like boundaries and comfort. It's just like, how do we become friends the fastest? Because like if I'm friends with you, you're gonna help me like get big. You're gonna help me like you're gonna push me forward. I can collab with you, and like it's impossible for me to be parasocial with you because I'm a streamer too. I'm also
So many people do that. So many people do that.
The cloud chasing.
Yeah.
One of the defining features of a parasocial relationship between like a creator and a viewer is that it's controlled by the creator. Like, if you're in real life, for example, like you can walk up to someone and start talking to them, whereas in a creator and viewer relationship, you decide when you release content, or when you're live, or when you are in VC for people to come up and talk to you when they want. And I think that it's very much like people who try to like submit to you or like be your submissive whether you want it to or not, and they think that like, oh well, it's fine because you're in the dominant position. They decide that they want to be friends, and they try and force you into that position without like consent and boundaries and building the base of that relationship.
Yes, I'm only daddy as a joke, and I'm not looking to adopt any more kids. Okay.
I feel
You'll
like
always
it's
be
the
my
same.
Sinapi baby.
I feel like it's the same if you're a sub and then like the Dom comes in your chat and he thinks
So
like
same. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
like, oh yeah, baby girl, you want it, right? You want
There's
this.
nothing
This is what
fucking
you want.
weirder
No,
than
it's like,
the Dom from
It's like
chat.
Oh,
bro,
God,
did you
yeah.
just give me baby powder? I'm so dry right now. Oh,
Open
my
my legs, the coochie goes.
Drier than the Sahara in here.
Yeah.
But Burb, what do you think?
Well, I guess listening to this conversation, this shit honestly does not come up for me. I guess because I've already established within my community, I work a full-time job. I do this as a hobby. I don't have extra time. I don't do voice chats. Like I don't have time for community events unless I set it for a specific time on a specific date. My mods are a godsend because they've recently become really proactive with running events within the server on nights that I'm working and I'm not actually able to be there. I would like to be present, but I work a mix of mornings, evenings, whatever. I get my ass kicked all through the week with my regular job.
Wow.
So I guess because I established that boundary right off the bat that no, I do not have extra time outside of streaming. This doesn't come up very often for me. Like it's very rare that people are trying to coerce me into playing games. I get it actually way more from other creators than I do from members of the community who are coming in. So as far as other creators go, I think they find out quickly enough. There is no clout to be siphoned off of.
I fucking agree. Yeah, it's like, what do you want?
Like, I'm sorry, you're not going to become famous by latching onto me because I simply don't have that clout to give. I'm sorry. So I guess they naturally move on once they realize I can't give them what they want.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a great point. I do want to pose this question to everyone here, actually, because Burb actually touched on something that was very helpful. We all have Discords, presumably. We all have different levels of interaction with our Discords. Me personally, mine is private, and I interact with it quite a bit because I find that's the value that I add as a creator, but that's not the case for everybody, you know? So I guess my question to you is, like, how do you sort of figure out the line? Like, how available do you make yourself in your Discord? Are you chatting? Are you, like, doing events? Like, as a creator, like, what is the consideration that you have when you decide, like, how interactive you want to be with your community, specifically in, like, a Discord setting?
For me, it's if I'm alive, I'm alive. If I'm not, then I'm dead to the world. There's no in between. I rarely do any events. I just chat once in a while if I see someone's awake. There's always like the usual good mornings and good nights in my chats for some reason, and it's not even between me and chat. It's like they're just chatting between themselves. There's one guy on my regular tour, if you're out there, he always wishes good morning, good night, and that's nice to see.
Yeah.
But I think it's because like I don't have time, and I never really like set people up and gave them that expectation of I'll always be there, I'm chronically online, etc. It's whether like you started. Some people actually do start out with really active Discords, and maybe that's why like they have the expectation set upon them. And I usually try to start out low, and because I started out low without like crazy interaction, my community doesn't expect that from me.
I think what's interesting is because like I was a mod for like 2 years before I even started streaming. Like, as someone who was very active talking in Discord in like those communities, and I saw the impact that like being active in that community could have like to boost you as a creator, because people make friends with each other, they support each other and such. I prioritize like talking in my Discord, holding events, and making myself like just being in VC a lot of the time when I have like the spoons for it. But like I get that it can be difficult because like while I can do that and I trust my people to not be weird about it, like I get that other folks may not want to make themselves that available because it creates expectations, you know?
I mean, for me, because I have chronic fatigue syndrome quite severely, I don't have a lot of sort of energy and time. So I do pop into my Discord and I make announcements and stuff like that, but it's not often that I get sort of the energy to talk and have like long, protracted conversations, particularly in something like VC. I have actually had people DM me, like on Twitter or on Discord, being like, you know, they're like a regular, and they're like, hey, I really love your content and I'd love to be your friend. And I've had to say, look, I am not looking for more friends right now, particularly, you know, things that would require a lot of maintenance, because I just don't have it to give. And you're a wonderful person, and I love that we're acquainted, but I cannot give you like what you deserve as a friend. And they've actually been super cool about it. And they've been like, no problem, I completely understand.
I will go for it.
Sorry.
No, go for it.
Okay. I was gonna jump in. I was gonna say, within my own Discord, as far as like messages go, like messaging the general chat, that's pretty much daily, because I've got a couple regulars. Shout out to my bear dad and my lich. I have at least 2 different Discord members who will post beautiful good morning motivational posts. Usually that's my dad. And it helps get the conversation going. It is not morning. I have not woken up unless I have seen this message from Bear Dad, because it's always some kind of beautiful, like, you know what, go out there and make the world what you want it to be. And it starts the conversation. It absolutely is. And it's so nice when you do foster a community that is mature and like-minded and overall very positive. Like I find that it's very easy to pluck the weeds and, I guess, identify an energy vampire if they come around.
God, that's such a good term.
Mood hoovers.
Yeah, as you guys are mentioning like bad DMs and stuff, I'm wondering, like, do you answer every DM that comes across, or are you pretty good about identifying people who are gonna be a problem before they become a problem?
I mean, I ran a Femdom BDSM server for 5 years before I became a streamer, so I got pretty good at spotting sort of thirst voids and mood hoovers pretty quickly. So there are people who will message me just hi, and then the next day hi, the next day
hi.
I got my truck.
Those are my favorite.
Next day
that shit stays in the message request.
Hi.
I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I did actually, so I did want to sort of ask Craven's experience with this too, because Craven, I've hung out in his server quite a bit actually, because I quite like it. Craven's a very active community, and he does community nights on Saturdays, in which just chills in VC. So Craven, I kind of want to ask, like, sort of, what is your thinking in like having, like, you know, weekly community nights and sort of like hanging out in VC for like extended period of time with your community? Like, do you like, you know, just go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, because throughout the week, I'm almost like non-existent in Discord unless I'm posting like my tweets or like announcements or anything like that. So I do try to make it up by doing like weekly community nights where we watch like a movie, and like afterwards we game with each other, or we just game or hang out. And yeah, I joined that because then I get to like, see, that's like one way of like us getting like closer to each other naturally. It's like hanging out doing like a VC, because then like I get to know like your interests, you get to know my interests, we get to like shoot the shit, and I don't know, I just get like an idea of who you are. You can kind of get an idea of who I am like outside of stream, because it's like yeah, I try to be like kind of like how I am on stream, like my IRL self, but like I'm like, you see my when I play Dead by Daylight, like I'm like
I do.
You know, like I'm like rizzing up the survivor or whatever. But like if I'm playing the community, I'm not gonna fucking do that. That's weird.
So would you say your motivation is just to sort of let people get to know you better and get to know your community better as well?
Yeah.
Do you do like customs and stuff on Fansly, or is it just like streams and the audios?
So yeah, Fantasy right now is just streams, and then I do have a tier where they can watch the VODs. Once I've debuted it, then I'll have more time to do like custom stuff. I do custom audios on the Patty, but and like other stuff like
On where?
like VC calls or like doggy pics, custom audios. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know
What's
you're
the
sort of
Patty?
like figuring it out because you are like maybe what 3 has it been like 3 months now you've been streaming on Fansly about?
Yeah, it's about 3 months now. Yeah.
Yeah. It takes a hot minute. It took me like 6 months to really figure out what I was comfortable with on Fansly, if being honest.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was gonna do. I thought I was gonna do like just straight up like ASMR. That was the plan.
Right.
Because I got like I got suspended once on Twitch, and I didn't want to risk that again.
I remember that.
But then yeah, first stream, and yeah, I figured I just like fuck it, and I kind of just went all out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this is, I guess, a
Same.
question for all of you too, but I'm gonna say from my own experience, like, and fuck it, I don't think Twitch is gonna ban us for this. When I started Fansly, I didn't really have any intention of like letting anyone listen to me come. I just thought that would be a very intimate thing that I just like no one would be one interested in, two like would be something like so beyond what I was like comfortable doing as a YouTuber. And it took a while.
Something no one would be interested in.
Silence.
Daddy's busy.
It took a while to get there, and I just wonder, like, do any of you have this consideration when you're making lewd content that showing a particularly lewd side of you might cause people to become obsessed or unhealthily attached to you, whether that's showing your IRL self or like coming like on stream? Like, how do you feel about that, panel?
100%.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
I want to jump in and start because I think out of all of us, I might be the only one who doesn't stream on Fansly. I had actually planned a day where I would do it, and I panicked. I don't know if I want to use the word like anxiety necessarily because of the weight of it.
Sure.
But I had this kind of anxiety building where I was like, do I actually want to foster an environment like this?
Yeah.
Because I
Sounds like
had
dread
regular
to
community members who were like, oh, what can I expect out of this? Like, should I watch it? Like, they're maybe not interested in listening to anybody coming or anybody talking about how, oh, they're so hard. Like, oh, I'll pay you $5 if you tell me to let it all go or whatever.
Right.
And I didn't know how to facilitate that kind of environment. So I crumbled. I was like, until further notice, maybe I can't actually do this. I'm a post my pick and go kind of girl, if you know what I mean.
Wow, that's really interesting. Like, I definitely felt the same way that you felt, because like at first my community was my friends. It's my friends. I was never sexual with any of them whatsoever. And it's like, is this going to change our dynamic in a major way if they hear me doing these things and
Totally
doing this stuff? And it turns out some people were interested and some people were not. And we can maintain that healthy separation. And because at the end of the day, like, if you put your boundaries down and you have mature people in your community, like, they can know when to separate it, you know?
Yeah.
And I guess as like kind of an added thought to that, I am I don't know if I can say I'm heavily tattooed, but I have tattoos. They're visible in photos. And it wasn't until I went to apply for a corporation, I Googled myself and I found out somebody's actually leaked like all of my content on a third-party website, and it comes up under a Google image search. So I had this panic of, oh, I'm identifiable. Even if I don't have my face in any of these photos, even if the background is kind of vague, I can be ID'd by what I have on my body. And it's now floating out there on a platform that I don't have control over. So this has kind of been hanging in the back of my mind for a little bit, where I guess I kind of took a month off from like lewd tubing, sex work, whatever. And I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do about this? And ultimately, I did a little soul searching and I was like, well, I don't think I should really let this affect me in the way that it's affecting me. I still don't know what I'm going to do about it, but I did pick myself up and dust myself off. And I'm like, no, girlie, you're going to take your top off again. We're going to go right back to the drawing board and we're just going to rebuild.
Hell yeah.
No, it's scary because like I have a say-so friend who nobody knows. Like she doesn't connect like her OnlyFans to like her actual like VTubing and such, and her OnlyFans got leaked also. And I was trying to help her like issue a DMCA, like try to get it down, and these sites don't fucking
DMCAs
care.
they don't care.
They
All
don't
of my
care.
stuff has been leaked too. So
Damn,
it's like, I mean, if you do NSFW content, you have to be okay with the fact that it, I mean, not okay, because it's not okay, right?
not
But
okay,
like, you
no,
have to
but-
be
Yeah.
cognizant of the fact that it will be leaked.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's no stopping it. People don't have morals, and they especially don't have morals when it comes to women's bodies or anybody's
Or
bodies.
sex
Absolutely.
workers' bodies.
Sex workers'
Exactly.
That
bodies.
Sex
entitlement
workers.
to like sex workers'
Yes,
bodies.
A lot
exactly,
of-
exactly. So
Yeah.
there's always going to be somebody like that who will just rip your content off of all your pages and upload it to some random site. And you can send DMCA requests, but like Atro was saying, they don't take them down because they don't give a shit. Like they're
Give a shit.
making
not
money
based in
off
this
of it.
country. They're based in like,
Yeah.
Romania or something.
Yeah. So I mean, like you. There are ways to protect yourself legally, and there's also like different sites that are developing new technology to help like combat that. But like, I mean, I know all of my stuff is leaked, even all of my IRL content that was only supposed to be for like my top tier subscribers. And to be honest, that's what made me more open about doing more IRL content, because I was kind of like, fuck you guys anyways. Like, but like, no, I started off with like being an IRL, a flesh tuber, like 5 years ago on Twitch, and I did like a bunch of different stuff, and I did absolutely zero sex work at all. Like I was completely say-so for like 3 years. I didn't even like talk about sex. And then some shit happened, and I ended up like starting doing like OnlyFans, and then people like really seemed to love it. And then I found out that I was an exhibitionist, and that was kind of like then the rest is history.
No,
But,
it's fucking
like,
scary.
It is
Like,
scary, yeah, because like I mean, now I'm like a porn star for the rest of my life, you know, like that's
Right.
literally it. I mean, I told my family, like everybody around me knows. So like I think that the thing is that you have to be really fucking sure you want to do this shit. Like if you're doing lewd tubing, if you're doing like the spicier side of shit, it's not for everybody. Like everybody's like, oh, like just like come and be a lewd tuber, make a shit ton of money. No, like
No,
like
it's not
think
easy money.
Not even
about
easy.
what you want before. Think about what you want, like what you're comfortable with, what your boundaries are, because like there is nobody that will respect your boundaries. You're gonna have to protect them for yourself, you know what I mean? Like you have to like set your own shit, like what Burb was saying, like you create your own communities. Like people really do like your community is shaped underneath your touch, so you have to really be strong about what you want, what you don't want. And if you're even like considering or on the fence about something, don't fucking do it. Like like just don't. Like you're gonna regret it. And
Dude,
if it's
people
not
who-
enjoyable, if it doesn't make you like feel joy, feel happy, if you feel embarrassed or anything, don't do it. Like it's not for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've always said here that like
For real.
people can tell when you're not having a good time making good
Exactly.
content. People can tell that you're
Exactly.
not
They can
into
tell
it.
you you're embarrassed or that
They
you're
tell.
self, you know, like yeah.
Yeah. And
think,
anyone
like-
who thinks that this is easy money, I challenge you to upload a VOD
It's so
to
fucking
Pansly.
funny. Yeah, it's so funny.
Because that shit takes forever. You will refresh the page, forget about it. Like it's the
Yeah.
it fucking sucks.
I'm not saying that,
I just
that's
wanted-
just what people are think in their brain. You know what I mean? Like
course,
that's
of
what
course.
that kind of like mentality breeds, and I think that's false. You know, like you should absolutely be like self-examination. Understand who you are as a person. If you're at a point in your life where you maybe like can't or wouldn't or don't want to or regret it, like don't do it. You know?
Absolutely. All right, I'm gonna give Shimmy
I
a
guess-
chance to go, and then Craven, and then Burp.
Okay. I was just gonna say that's like one of my worst nightmares because I'm Asian. I'm from an Asian family. If any
Oh, yeah,
of my
I'm a
family
pastor's
finds
kid.
out, If they find out, holy shit. But
Yep.
and at the same time, when I got into it and I only recently started doing IRL content. You know, cause like it started as a goal for like my anniversary, and then I found out that people really like it, and I enjoy it. Cause I always knew I was an exhibitionist. That's why I did Fansly, and that's why I started like stuff like that. And then since people like it, I just started like enjoying myself. But then like my fear is also like, what if someone finds me and then I realize I won't work a corporate job ever again? And if I don't think that any of my family is like as tech savvy. So I Asian parents.
The
conversation.
the conversation with your family is something that you don't want to have. I'm just telling you guys.
Yeah, no,
Like,
absolutely. I will
be
never have that
so
conversation.
awkward,
Yeah.
but I do know, like, in any case, if my family does like bring it up, I'll be like, I'm at least performing it in a safe space. I control this space. It's what I do, what I can put out. And if people want to steal that shit, go ahead. I still have my people with me, you know?
That's
Like,
exactly it too. That's the way to think about leaking.
That's what's important to me. Like,
The
it's
chances of-
not... Yeah. Go ahead, Mystique. Sorry.
The chances of you sort of being outed or discovered diminish greatly if you don't post IRL content that someone could potentially use, like by looking for the background in your photos, or recognizing the background in your photos, or like with Burb has, like your tattoos. It's one of the reasons that I don't post any IRL content at all, because I don't want it to be recognized, even though my entire family knows what I do.
Yeah, no,
Sorry,
it's a
that
it's
was
a thing.
that was just an aside. Like, if you don't
course.
post,
Like,
I guess
yeah. Go ahead, bro.
Sorry. I guess my cautionary tale here is that ultimately the realization is no corporation is going to want me as a VTuber, because it's now so obvious what I have done. I would have to, I guess, let go of my IP. But even then, unless it's a company like, what's that one?
VShojo?
No,
Project
Via Lure.
Melody?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I guess VShojo too, but what do they want with me? They already rejected me. But anyway, a company like Via Lure, I guess.
Are you even allowed to say that? NDA.
Verb.
Oh, fuck it, whatever. You guys already rejected me. Like, one and done. I'm done. I'm indie. That's it.
Yeah, no, like it's to the point. Like, I don't want to brag, but like, if my identity ever got linked to my Fansly, it would probably make the news in New York, like literally, because of the job that I have. So
Damn.
that is my nightmare.
Holy fuck.
Right.
Exciting.
Yeah, so exciting, right? So exciting.
Wall Street over here.
Yeah.
Spicy.
It would literally be like,
Leonardo
this
DiCaprio could
this
never.
guy has a Fansly, and like it would be like,
Yeah.
actually in the news.
Is
So
there like news of
think about how many.
an officer being fired because he was an OF?
yeah, that happens.
Oh yeah, I saw
Well, if it does make the paper, make sure
Features,
they
yeah.
include. Make sure they include the Atramentum.inc link so people can come and like give you money.
All your socials.
Yeah, it'd be the next Hawk Tua girl.
Talk to a girl. Oh my god.
You're gonna be the it boy.
Yeah. I'm gonna give us a little break right now from the serious topic. I want to get to a question that Carrie asked in chat, Carrie Bolt. Question for the panelists and host. What is the most weird or funny parasocial experience you've had? Either you as the figure to admire or as the fan, as long as you want to share.
Oh, may I start?
You may.
Yeah, go.
So in reviving the Fansly, because I was like, wow, don't be a little depresso, just go back to what you're doing. So I send out a mass message to all my followers. I get my titty in it. I get this motherfucker who tries to enact hypnosis on me. Like they sent me some kind of like, ooh, trippy gif. Ooh, read this paragraph. Oh, your eyes are getting so heavy. You're getting ready to take my command. I send back LOL in all caps, and he's like, so did it work? I'm like, I think you're gonna have to try harder. and I get 8 more messages of like, focus on my text and blah blah blah. Another gift comes through. I'm like,
Oh my
I
god.
don't think you understand what I'm saying. I just blocked him. I'm like, fuck this shit.
He's trying out that hentai strat, you
The
know?
fucking Discord hypnosis.
Discord
Yeah, don't send me a
message.
fucking GIF. Are you kidding me? What am I? Like,
I bet he doesn't even fucking have Nitro.
yeah.
Also, Ruka Baby, that Parasocial Chillers arts game, that's the red part of that funnel, that triangle.
The red part of
The red zone.
Yeah.
That's like crimson.
I once had somebody tell me that they loved coming to me while I was like when I was in my Say So arc.
Ooh.
Like when I very first like started and I was just like a little flesh tuber doing my little thing, and then they were just like, oh yeah, I loved coming to you. I'm like, to what did you come to?
Holy
like I was
shit.
literally just like talking and like being a fucking gremlin.
No, don't
like,
ask them because they'll show you.
no. Yeah, no. It was like screaming to the void, you know, like
Of course.
yeah, not to them. Like I just kind of blocked them. But yeah, then I was just kind of like, oh, that's interesting.
I had someone ask me if I thought he should put his kids up for adoption.
What?
What?
That's definitely a level 2, I'd say.
Level
Yeah.
3? What do you
Yeah,
mean?
for
Those are his
sure.
children.
Yeah. No, it was his partner's kids, and his partner had passed away, and he was like going into the Navy. And he was a member of my Femdom Discord, and we chatted every so often. Oh yeah, sweetie, you know about you remember that? And yeah, he asked if I thought he should put his kids up for adoption, and I was like, I am not prepared to accept the responsibility for influencing that decision. Holy shit, dude.
Well, you see, that question there is level 2 because he's asking, should I put my kids up for adoption? It's level 3 if he says, should we put our kids up for adoption?
Yeah. Do you want my kids?
Oh my
They need a new mom.
Good lord.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Right?
I actually don't have
bit
anything to share in
crazy,
that
though.
vein. Like, people have been kind of cool to me for the most part. I've just had
No,
other
yeah, mostly people are
creators-
I
cool.
only
Yeah, I just had
I
other
only get
creators
like the
sometimes.
usual.
Yeah.
Oh, you have
I
people
get
Sure.
the
like
usual.
you have
I
people spilling
Unsolicited
their
people.
guts to you sometimes in DMs. Like they'll DM you and be like, "I'm so sad, and here's why," and it'll just be like an essay.
Yeah.
I got like
sometimes
an essay apology before.
For what were they apologizing for?
Oh,
They were like, I'm so sorry I can't follow you anymore because like my girlfriend says I can't, and I was like,
Aw.
that's kind of cute. It's all
That's so
good.
cute. That's a happy
And I was
ending.
like, that's so wholesome. And then when he broke up, he's like, he's girly, I'm back. I don't have a girlfriend. I was
No,
like,
I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm sorry.
And it was a happy ending, and then he did that.
No, I don't like that. Don't come back from
I
that.
thought he graduated, and then I was like, what? I'm not sure how to react.
That's fucking funny.
crazy.
Craven, you gotta have some.
Yeah, I had one, it was during like a Twitch stream. Had someone come in and they said it once and I didn't hear it, but they said
Oh no.
they were telling me like, "Oh yeah, Craven, I come to your audios." And then I didn't see that. And then everyone was like all quiet, and then they persisted to say it again to get my attention.
Mm,
And I was like, "What the fuck? Why are you saying that in a Twitch stream?
Yeah, that's not okay.
That's like not the
Time
place
and
to say
place,
that."
people. Time and
the
place.
minute I see that, I'm like, you're a minor. You're a kid. You're 100% a minor.
It's like, it's
'Cause
time to
I
ban
had
you.
that like about a week ago. Someone's like, "Oh, can you impregnate me?" I'm just like,
Oh,
Yeah.
they were
Oh
minor.
god.
Because they're like at the end of it, they were like at like maybe like 10 minutes later, like, yeah, when I turn 18, should I get a tattoo of you? I'm like, goodbye.
Oh,
yep.
I didn't even fucking ask you.
Instaban.
Instaban.
Banhammer. Boom.
That's
It was
fucking
funny because
crazy.
I have a little chat with my mods, and my mods were like, "Hey, if this person's a minor, what should we do?" I'm like, on site, because I've ended up banning them myself. I'm like, on site, fucking on site.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yep,
Yeah.
That's what happens when you do YouTube audios. Anyway, I digress. We had a question earlier from Sweetie. Sweetie said, what are some boundaries that are hard to put in place as a YouTuber? Or did you know exactly what you want and exactly what you don't want?
I think-
for me...
Oh, go ahead.
I think for me, having been sort of in BDSM and been a femdom for probably like 12 years or more when I started this, I think I already knew how to put my boundaries down, so I didn't have much of an issue with people pushing them because I wasn't afraid to be the bad guy. And like if you think I'm an asshole because I bapped you on the nose if you got a bit too fresh, or I banned you, then that's fine. Go cry on Twitter about it. But yeah, I imagine that if you don't have some kind of experience where you've been in that situation in the past, it would be very difficult.
I think I figured mine out on the go, because I never knew what my streams would be on the blue site. But I came to kind of realize as I went along, like, I didn't want people being too sexual in chat. Like, because if the core of my community are, like, people who are my friends, who are there sort of casually there to support me and to enjoy the moans and, like, the sexy gameplay, I don't need people coming in being like, oh, I'm stroking my cock right now, or, like, my pussy's so wet, things like that. Like, that has always made me, like, super uncomfortable when people had come in just being just overtly sexual off the bat, like,
Yeah.
because I don't know you. I'm sorry, I don't know you. And at the end
I
of the
like
day,
people to objectify me.
Well, it depends. It depends because, like,
Depends on the person, right?
hey, I
Depends on
am
the
very
stream.
scared of, like, strangers. What can I have such major stranger danger because I don't know who you are. You could be a kid. You could be like someone like wishing ill on me, trying to get me say something like sus, like, and then clip it. Like, or like screen record it. Like,
Oh fuck! People probably clip me all the fucking time saying shit, sus as shit things.
Right, and like I just feel like, and like I'm this again. Like, I'm not discounting like what everyone goes through, but I think as a male creator, you have to be very careful with what you say and who you say it to.
That is true.
Yeah.
And that's why I tend
And
to
then a
lower
lot
the
of things
temperature
can be-
on my streams. Yeah, go ahead, Shimmy.
Yeah, a lot of things can be taken out of context too. They love doing that.
Oh, absolutely.
And also, you
Um,
never know who's like secretly a psycho sometimes.
Oh, that's true.
There are people who like have been like such good friends that they invited people to their wedding, and like the person was like posting pictures like faking that they were tied up and that these people wouldn't let them leave and that they'd essentially kidnapped them. And they admitted to it all like a year later, but like imagine being such good friends with someone and then they do that to you.
That's terrifying.
That is terrifying.
Thank you. New fear
Fear
unlocked.
I mean, that's obviously
Everyone
a very
going to
extreme
TwitchCon has a
case.
new fear unlocked all of a sudden.
New fear unlocked.
I mean, that's like, I think that's kind of like every woman's fear, like all the time, though. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I could have that happen walking into my fucking like Uber. So I live in a very not safe spot, you know. Like that shit could happen to me on a daily. So it doesn't really matter if somebody online is like that doesn't even know where I live, like is thinking about doing that. I mean, obviously if I sense that, they're getting blocked immediately, but like I don't know. Yeah.
This
I
was
can't be
obviously a
scared of
very
all humans because
a very
like, some
extreme
humans are
thing.
shitty.
Yeah.
You can't be scared of all humans though, just because some humans are shitty. There's gonna continue to be shitty humans out there. They're not gonna stop, and they will come into your life.
It is
The
a
good
thing
thing
I
is
think
just
about.
to know.
If you're
I do think
scared, you
about
can't
it.
leave your house.
Like, am I limiting my growth as creator if I'm like not indulging like, you know, people wanting to be
You have to do what you're
sexual?
comfortable. You have to do what you're comfortable with, though. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
if you're not comfortable with that, then you shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But like,
And if you're not comfortable, it shows.
Yeah, exactly.
can-
Exactly.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to do those things anyway. So, I mean, like for me, I'm very comfortable with people objectifying me. I also am very comfortable with people saying very sexual things to me. But I do have my own limits, my own boundaries. Like, I don't say I love you to people. Because I do GFE things, I don't say I love you to people at all. I save that for like if I were in a relationship, you know. Like, I have certain things, like I also have like names that I don't let chat call me, that I would only save for like somebody that would be special to me. You know, like I have different boundaries that like I put forward because I'm really super comfortable and I love doing what I do. And like, yeah, there are all of these like things that, like, what ifs, like if there's some fucking psycho out there like planning to kidnap me, like, yeah, that's fucking horrible, but like, please don't do that. Like, but like, you can't, like, I'm not gonna stop being an exhibitionist and like doing my full-time job because of that, you know.
Yeah.
Peak made a good point. I feel like some creators sell their boundaries for quick cash, and it destroys their mental health. I think
I've
some
seen
people
that a
do.
lot.
Boundaries. It's boundaries again. Like, you have to know what you're comfortable with. Like, yes, creators sell their boundaries. They sell intimacy, certain levels of intimacy, and a creator might become more comfortable with being more intimate as time goes on. Like, who just start out are like doing lewd things are only comfortable with certain things, and then they find out that they like more things and they start doing that too, and then they find out they like another thing and they do that too. Like, it's fine for people to adapt, but don't ever push yourself past.
So this is a good point too, because
Yeah.
I've long had this sort of belief.
Oh, I think Craven was about to say something.
Oh, I just said yeah. But
Oh.
I got my point. Cause I don't really know what my boundaries are yet. I'm still like,
Right.
I guess exploring still. Like, I haven't found like something I was like, you know, like
Exactly.
really-
I found
Yeah.
some things that I did, and then I like said never again, you know.
Yeah.
Someone trips that boundary, like, oh, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
When I
my mom
started
would hate me
fancying-
for that too, because they don't know what to do about it and shit. Like, they're like, Craven, you should have boundaries. I'm like, it's hard. Like, I'm mostly like, you know, if it makes you guys or my chat uncomfortable, then yeah, like, do something. But like, it's hard for me because I don't know.
That's a good
It's
back
hard
and
to make
forth
me
to have,
uncomfy.
though. Like, if your mods are able
Yeah.
to tell you, like, hey, I think that you were uncomfortable in that situation, that's a great relationship to have.
Yeah.
And they know you really well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think
I've always had the belief that people who do BFE and GFE content, by going to Fansly and essentially doing paid sex work, is better for you than like having that not transactional nature like around, because when people have to pay for it, you are able to better control.
It's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I actually
Yeah.
had a question about this. So here we go. If you are a BFE/GFE type creator, do you feel that the transactional nature of sex work helps to enforce some boundaries by essentially, quote unquote, paywalling yourself?
Yeah. 100%.
And also, if you ban someone or whatever, you are withdrawing your labor. You don't have a socially contractual relationship where you feel obligated to give them affection, or you know they're part of your life. It's very hard to extricate yourself. I think it's a useful way for sex workers to think about people who become too pushy, is you decide to withdraw your labor from them and withdraw your consent.
I've never felt safer as a creator, especially as a BFE creator, until I like basically set that transactional nature. Like, okay, I will moan for you, I'll do sexual things, but you have to tip me. I'll do this for
Yeah.
you, but you gotta buy it.
Exactly.
It turns out to be
Yeah.
hot too. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I kind of fucking love it.
Susie's being too real. You're too real, Susie.
Sorry.
But I also
I'm not
feel
gonna
like
kinda
it
like it
also
too.
gives
Yes.
it also gives people a lot of sense of entitlement sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes that really irks me because like they think like because you're being paid, you're like, you need my money.
Well, I mean,
And they think-
those are the bad apples, though. So you weed
Yeah,
out,
yeah,
you
yeah.
weed those people out anyways, because they're not gonna be around when as you like culture like your community, like what Burb was saying, and I think also Craven was talking about when they were talking about like they're like hanging out with their community and getting to know like the vibe, you know, like you can weed them out. You can because you know you see them.
Yeah.
Ban those bitches.
Yeah, what you
Straight
said
up,
about
man.
like what you said about "oh, you need my money" is so true. Like, bitch, there is other money.
Oh,
can
it's
go
like,
get
bitch
that.
ass. The sea is real huge, boy.
And if
This
I
is
can
a-
interject, like
Yeah, go for it.
I strongly recommend, the best advice that I saw the other day was I think it was Giga from V Shoujo. She actually says, like, even if you are a small streamer, you've got an audience of 10 people, you've got one bad apple. As hard as it might be to pluck that one bad apple that you've got, throw them the fuck out, because they are
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
worth losing your other
Yes.
9
Exactly.
viewers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck
Yes.
that guy.
that's
You
so
will have
true.
other
Yes.
people.
Yes. Yes. It spoils. It makes everybody can feel it. You know, like when you have a bad apple and you're uncomfortable. That's 100% so true.
This is a
Yeah, I
great
feel like
line,
it's so
bro.
hard to do when you like first start streaming. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
you don't want to like upset anyone. You want to like, you're like a people pleaser when you first start, and you're just scared to like
Mm.
make everyone like mad or angry at you. But like, yeah, it's just like it just fucks with your mental health when you have that person around.
Mm-hmm.
Your
really
And then
does.
it
mood
helps.
changes, your attitude changes. Like, people
Yeah.
can see your energy
Changes your
changes
vibe.
when they like come into your stream and stuff.
And they drain
I
you
think
so
it's-
much faster.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was just gonna say, I think it's also really important, like, before you do sex work, before you do streaming, like, I think you should sit down and ask yourself, do I have the maturity to say no if something is, crossing a boundary? Because again, yes, totally.
Or the
once you sell
confidence
out your
to learn how
boundaries-
to.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Once you sell your boundaries, that's kind of it. Like, once a boundary is crossed, other people will try to cross it.
Yeah.
You
So
can
it's
get your
good
boundaries
to-
back though. I don't want people like. I think that you can still, because I've done stuff before, and then I was like, oh, I didn't like that. You know, you can retract. You can consent can be taken back, and you can reform your community. It does take time though. You will lose some people that liked what you were doing or whatever. You know, but like, there's totally things that you can like reform really quick. You know, and be like, oh, hold on.
Sure, but I guess I would also argue, like, it depends on how public facing that was. Like, there are people who jump on creators for doing, like, audios, whatever. If they stop doing audio, you end up seeing people complaining in their comments, like, I wish
Yes.
you went back to doing this. So once you put certain types of content out there, once you withdraw from it, you end up getting comments, whether you like them or not, and you have to be able to stand up for yourself in that case too.
I have seen this.
To
People
enforce
like
that
will
boundary again.
delete audios, delete
Yeah.
like previous like IRL content. People will complain, get in their DMs, and be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
you used to do this, and like I want it back."
Yeah.
You know,
But they're
But
not
they're like,
entitled
"That's why I
to it. They're just
followed
not
you."
entitled to it. You know what I mean?
of course.
Like, you don't have to.
You have to grow a bit of a thick skin to
To
be
get
able to
some-
do this.
Yeah.
For real. Like, people will try all sorts of things.
You have to be able to advocate for yourself.
People will also like sometimes try to be like manipulative towards you. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
like
yeah,
you
yeah,
won't
yeah. They'll
even
try to
see
be
what
nice
they're
at
trying to
first.
do. Well, yeah, or like
Sometimes.
like people who tip, sometimes even they'll like tip, and then they'll try to like get you to do something for free. You know what I mean? Or like,
Oh yeah.
or like, you know what I'm talking about? Like
Oh,
people
absolutely.
I know.
people who start to try to cross those boundaries. There's nothing sexier than somebody respecting your boundaries. And so if you like enforce that's the way you get turned on is by people respecting your boundaries and tipping you good, then I think that like you can keep like your consent in check. And if there's people that like are upset that you're not doing a certain type of thing anymore, like they can kick rocks.
Yeah. Just say sorry, go find someone else. I'm sorry.
There's
not my
plenty of
thing.
other people that do that kind of content that you want. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like, go. Be free.
And those people who say like, "Oh, I can get this cheaper from like another creator," fucking
Well,
go.
fucking go there, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, never
That's
even
me,
let those
bro.
people commission you. Never even let those people commission you because they're
Yeah,
gonna be
don't-
a pain in the ass to commission anyways.
Yeah,
I took
don't
like
bargain
2.
with people.
No.
Yeah, this is the 20th century. We're not on a barter system.
Prices are as posted.
You just imagine this how it works. Like, yeah, I'll give you 2 dick pics for 3 titty pics.
Yeah.
Oh my
I'll give you
god.
half a yak if you jack me off, kind of thing.
What happens to the other half of the yak?
It's in the cooler.
Or do you just have like a jack off like to be used later? Like you get like a voucher.
Okay, I have a funny story that's not related to the topic, but I think
Please
it's
do
kind of
tell.
funny.
Okay.
Tell us.
I'm from South Africa, and as you know, in many African cultures, there is a practice of giving what we call lobola, or the bride price, right?
Oh yeah.
That you have to
India's got
pay
that
to the
too.
Yeah.
bride's parents. And the people were talking about, Fuzzy and some friends were talking about my lobola, what it would be. And
What is it?
Fuzzy volunteered 1 18-wheeler truck of meat and half a yak. And the half a yak thing has
Yo?
stuck with
The
me
half
for
a
the rest of
yak.
my life.
Yak, they aren't even yaks in South Africa.
No, that's why it's so amazing.
You'd have to import one in from fucking Nepal or some
Import,
shit.
like-
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why it's the most expensive thing. It's rare.
You'd have to get some deep freezers in your garage or some shit though. That shit's
Yeah.
gonna like, yeah,
I'm sure it would be a refrigerated truck.
hopefully.
I would hope so.
For that.
Otherwise
yak.
you'd have to eat real fast, you know?
Yeah, I was hot, but I was hot back
Gonna
then. I
have
could
to-
fetch a decent price.
You're hot now, shut up.
You're still hot. What do you mean?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I'm only worth a
Thank you.
minivan worth of meat, unfortunately.
Don't talk shit in my left ear.
Should I talk it into the mic instead? I'm only worth a half a
Address
minivan
batting up.
of meat. Okay. I have so many questions here I want to get to, so let me get to some of these.
Sorry, I derailed it completely. But I
You're
wanted to
fine.
share.
You're
It was a
fine.
good derailment.
I loved it.
Yeah, my
By the way,
Xhosa
chat-
teacher went for 10,000 rand and a horse. And she was
Wow.
like, her parents lived in the city. She was like, where are you going to put a fucking horse? But yeah.
That's
You're
an
rich enough-
investment.
If you're rich enough, it's possible.
See, the best part of getting a horse as your bride price is that it's always going to be very stable.
Ting. Oh my god. End me
Lol.
now. What's the question, Atra?
Ask us a question, please.
What's the
Let us get
question?
away from the pun.
Okay, actually, we have one from Royal. As streamers, how do you feel about the parasocial relationships branching out to anyone on your team, i.e. mods or VIPs? For instance, viewers trying to get close to those members in your community believe they'll get closer to you.
Oh, that is...
Ban a
I have
bitch!
seen that.
Ban a bitch!
Ban them.
I
don't
don't
think
know.
it's. Oh, sorry.
sorry, you go.
Go ahead. Oh, okay.
No, you go, please.
Oh, okay.
This is what
I'm
happens
here
with
all the
Canadian
time.
and
People
Brit
don't
on
want to
the
hear me
show.
talk.
I know. I'm sorry.
They're all nice.
I trust my mods. And I don't think to this day it's ever come up, but I trust that if anybody who I have enough of a relationship with, that they've become a mod, that they become a VIP, that they would come and they would tell me, because I
Yeah.
would throw that motherfucker right out on the street.
what I
I
do,
tell
yeah.
him what's up. Because if you're coming after my mods who have already done so much for me, like I owe these guys a drink at the very least. Should I travel to fucking America or wherever else they are, I owe them a drink at the very least. I would hope they got that trust in me that they could come to me about an issue, especially, as I said, if they're already facilitating events within the community and they are having like a little bit more intimate contact with community members than I am, that they would just relay that to me. I'm sure you guys do, because I know you're in chat. I'm sure that you would absolutely tell me. You are going to nod and you are going to say, yes, Burp, I would absolutely tell you that somebody is under my left ear. Right? SP?
I love that.
Yeah, that kind of manipulative bullshit where they try to get close to people around you
Fucking
to get to other
crazy,
people,
bro.
like, absolutely
Oh,
not.
yeah.
No, and people
it's,
clock that shit
It's
from a mile away.
impossible though.
Yeah, my mod gets
My
sniffed
mod,
on.
my mod is my partner, so you have a good luck, bro. You have a good you do your best.
Trap card activated.
Same.
It's like, hello, Shimmy's fiance. How do I get closer to Shimmy?
Oh,
There's
really?
one guy who actually told my fiance like, I really like Shimi and I'm gonna confess to her.
Wow.
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 I think though,
okay.
if you do GFE or like BFE, like people will like you're gonna have to like, I don't know. People have
The thing
confessed
is-
before. I think that like people do grow real feelings, but that's the point where you take like a responsible approach to it and be like, listen, then you reinforce like I don't have feelings for you. What we have is like you pay me for certain things and you have my full attention and like my full like gratitude and everything during those times, but like that'll happen. It will happen.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't do GFE, and that was before I even started Fansly.
Oh shit. No. Wow, that's
So like
crazy.
it was
That's
just
bold.
me
Audacity.
doing like, I just do cozy streams. So on Twitch, I just do cozy streams. There's nothing. I just talk to people and we just like hang. I don't do ASMR. I don't give like no girlfriend experience. I don't even want to pretend to be your girlfriend because I'm not that kind of person. I don't think I'm a
I
good
understand it, though.
girlfriend, you know. So
But
I
I
can't
definitely
offer
had a
that
crush
experience.
on like a streamer who like had a like fiance. Like
Yeah, but I think like it. I think like they just wanted to shoot their shot or maybe just get it off their chest, which is
Right.
totally understandable.
Yeah.
I didn't mind,
Yeah.
but like you didn't have to go straight up like knowing that guy is like my fiance and tell
That's
him.
just inconsiderate. Yeah.
It's just so like, what are you
I feel-
expecting to get out of it? You just want to cause him discomfort. So like
Right.
that left like a really bad taste in my mouth.
Manipulative.
And-
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like we've all seen those people though that, you know, whether they're streamers or not, usually they're streamers who go and will like go into people's chats or whatever and only talk to members of the opposite sex or the sex
Oh,
that
I
they're
fucking
interested
Those people
hate
do
that.
not have a
Oh,
place
for
in my
real.
community. No.
Male
like,
VTubers that deal with this a lot actually.
Oh yeah, like the number of fuckboys that try and cozy up to Atra, like by getting really cozy with like his, I think all female mod team, or no, mainly female mod team. Like it's largely female. There are male members, but like
Not,
trying
not
to
on
like
purpose.
no,
Damn, you
but-
guys
Atra
have
and
like
his
women in your
harem.
communities.
it's like my mod
without
team is
me?
mostly male because you know we attract the opposite genders quite often. But like yeah, the number who try and like get cozy with Atra and try and siphon off some of his clout by like getting close
crazy,
and getting
bro.
the
And again, I
approval
have
of
no
the women
clout.
in
Yeah.
his
There is no clout to be
community
siphoned
is-
here. I've got
oof.
none.
It's literally they're just trying to learn how to like fucking actually do like basic shit. You know, like how to you know, like they're not even, I feel like people like that like aren't even trying to like, I feel like they just don't even know where to start, you know? So it's like fucking low and it's really gross.
Yeah, I've had that happen a couple times. Like they'll hang out in my community, like BC, and they're like, "Craven, we should do a collab or something." I'm like, yeah, we should, but it's like, and then I never go through with
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
of course, because like they do it in a public
Leave 'em on
setting, and
red.
it's like, what do you do with that? You know, it's so hard to like.
No, you can be nice and then never do
Yeah.
anything. That's totally that's
Yeah.
valid of you. That's totally
That's
fine.
I've
valid.
seen that actually happen in Craven's VC.
That's totally
Yeah.
fine that you can do that. You're allowed
I
to.
do that
they're
a
being,
lot.
They're being scum. All right.
Yeah, Craven, we should collab.
Yeah,
Raven, we should absolutely collab.
yeah, we should.
That was
Here's a great
jet, by the
question.
way.
I know.
By the way, chat, the depths is typically about 2 hours to 2.5 hours ish. So if you have any questions for our panel, get them in now, and we'll try to get to them as we get to them. This is a question from Salem Moon for the panelists. When I talk to people about VTubers and streamers, there seems to be a negative connotation about parasocialism. Have you witnessed other creators abusing the dynamic between them and their community? Do you think these people are why streamers people have a negative view for hearing the words VTuber or streamer?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And there are so many different examples of this that have floated around. I'm pretty sure a bunch of us have at least been present, like following VTubers for like years now. And how many twitlongers have we seen in our time where it's, what's her name, who's been, a sex pest towards their community, other creators, whatever. Like, I'm sure all of us have had at least one experience where somebody is using their power, and they're abusing their power dynamic within their community.
There's something about the
Or even among
anonymity
others.
about like being a VTuber especially that I think engenders the worst in people, unfortunately.
Because there's no like background fucking check in this shit,
Yeah.
There are people who
And then there's always a witch hunt. A little witch hunt going on. Like, if you, like, there are really huge VTubers, like, if they don't like somebody, like, it's not even just VTubers, like, celebrities have them and whatnot. Like, if they have beef with someone and, like, the whole fan base goes after
mobilizes
them,
against them.
aka the really famous country singer, she who should not be named. I'm scared. I'm scared.
Yeah,
What if I
Miss
say it?
Fossil Fuels.
Yeah, Miss Fossil Fuels. Like, her community is a bit crazy.
not
It's like
woke enough,
crazy
I don't know.
toxic.
Not woken up is crazy.
I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry.
No,
I'll catch it later.
it genuinely can be like scary sometimes because like not everyone has the same healthy like relationship with their communities, and people can be so focused on pleasing them and getting the approval of those people that they will do some very unhealthy things, especially if you like are perceived as an enemy or someone who like should be destroyed.
Oh, there are people who straight up use their communities like a hate mob and send them after people.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
weaponizing their communities. Yeah. I think that there's another way too that like, so I see it a lot in lewd tubing, because that's what I see a lot of recently. But like, people will just kind of use their community members and like kind of act robotic towards them, like treating them very like not kindly, and like even like going so far as to like, I don't know, like I'm not talking about like findom or like degradation, because I know and like appreciate BDSM, but like there's just some people that they're just using their communities as like piggy banks,
I call I call the chat GPT YouTuber.
GPT, exactly.
I call it the ATM.
And you can
Yeah.
tell when they're streaming because they're not fucking in it. You can even like hear it, like you can even, or like just with their content, it's always like the clickbait shit or whatever.
It's clickbait
And
shit.
just-
It's AI art.
Yeah,
it's like always a combination
yeah.
of like these things. where
It's,
it's
you know
like-
the exact type
Or
of YouTuber I'm
reactions
talking
that-
about.
Exactly.
Yes.
The reactions that are pre-recorded,
Yeah.
so they have nothing to do with whatever is actually going.
Yeah. Yes.
Exactly that one.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
No,
they're trying to
so,
like
like-
min-max like lewd tubing, and it's like the most artificial shit ever, basically.
Yeah, and I just like, I don't know, there's just something about it that really makes me sad, because what we do is an art, like what we do is like a sensual art. It's something that like you engage with, you spin your atmosphere. I'm very witchy, so like I believe a lot in like energy and stuff like that, and I feel like that's very important when it comes to what you're creating each and every single time, and being genuine in that, I think, is one of the most important things. Liking what you're doing, because people can tell, everybody can
Yes,
tell, not just
they
your
can
viewers,
always
other
tell.
people.
Yes. You can always tell. I guess like a question I have for the ASMRists and like the people who make audios on the panel. When it comes to that, you are making these audios to sort of trigger certain emotions in the listener. Like, do you ever have that consideration? Like, what are you trying to target? What emotion are you trying to like hit on when you make an audio, or like you do some ASMR, or like even when someone asks you to like give them praise or degradation? Like, do you ever have a consideration like what you want to hit on, or you just kind of freeball it based on the person?
I'm
I mean-
freeballing.
Yeah, for me,
I'm-
it's whatever I want to do. Like if I want to do like a Dommy Mommy Futo audio, then I do that. And if I decide to be more subby, then I do it.
So you don't really have this like the consideration like what is my audience necessarily like, or is it more like sexualizing yourself and sort of your own sort of interests at the moment?
I mean, I do think about what my audience likes, and I mean, with the person that I am, just being what you see is what you get. I think a lot of their interests align with what my interests are, so they're sort of they will enjoy whatever I choose to make. So it's not that I have no consideration for them, but like I'm not like, okay, I think that, you know, maybe they want a BJ like audio, or maybe they want a JOI today. I just do whatever I'm feeling like doing.
I'm in the
And-
same
and
school
what
of
feels
thought
right. Mm.
with Lady Mystiq, because like basically I want to enjoy myself, and when you enjoy yourself, someone's gonna enjoy you. Like is
Yeah.
how it works, right? Like they feel the vibe, and for me, like a lot of my audio is pretty much, I don't do scripted stuff, right? It's mostly just ramble fap. And my thought is that if I have sex with someone, I'm not gonna be talking a lot.
Yeah, true.
You know?
True.
And funnily enough, a lot of my audience actually have me in, like, they listen to me on the background, and I'm like, okay. They use me as like background noise when they work and stuff. Apparently it's like really soothing to them. So I was like, I'm glad you enjoy it. Like, as long as you enjoy my content. But I'm not gonna, not to say like I would cater towards my audience. I do think about like sometimes like how can I spice it up a bit for them, because like it can get kind of boring if it's a ramble fap all the time.
I've got so many artists that sure just like draw while listening to me goon. It's interesting.
Yeah, but like,
Oh, that's kind of fun.
It's energy, I feel.
Yeah.
It's the energy in your audio.
Yeah.
Chat uses
if
Anis
you do-
Adal as background noise. It's huge chat
Yeah.
right
If you're doing a performance that inspires you, I think you put more into it
Yeah.
now. Absolutely.
rather than just doing something because you have to. For me, anyway. Like, it's obviously different from person to person.
Let me go to my list of questions. Let me grab one of these because I have a couple of good ones in here. So here's a question about sort of parasocialism and sex work. Do you ever think about your audience's needs? For example, boredom and loneliness when you make your content and craft your persona?
I guess not really. Like, I guess I go for a blend of authenticity that also won't land me in hot water. Like, I try to be vague enough about myself that, again, keeping in mind that I am identifiable as a person if you're, you know, paying attention to what's on my body. In whatever I say, I try to add enough of a vagueness to it that I hope somebody wouldn't be able to track me down specifically.
Yeah.
That answers the question. I had said once before on stream, like, oh, yeah, I guess if somebody tracks me down and stabs me, I deserved it. But now I'm kind of like, well, you know what? Maybe I didn't.
No, you definitely didn't. No.
No,
They would
you
be
did not.
definitely at
No one
fault.
deserves that.
Nobody deserves that. No.
Yeah.
That would
No,
be
but
them.
I
That would
do
be bad
think-
them.
I do think you kind of do sort of have this consideration, Burr, because you mentioned like being the bartender as your sort of role. Like you probably understand that your community has loneliness and like would like to talk to somebody. Isn't that something you think about when you sort of do your streams?
I suppose I don't look at my community as like lonely. I actually think that I have attracted really wonderful, like mature, like-minded individuals. I'm frequently surprised to find out that some of my community members are like older than me to different degrees. Like I have mentioned, oh yeah, I kind of remember dial-up when I was growing up, and somebody will be like, I grew up on dial-up, like that. I've been using that for work and whatever. Like they'll say something that ages them 10 years over me, and I'm surprised by that. But I guess it's that I approach it as far as regular Twitch streams go. I approach it as people who are semi-familiar with me just chit-chatting, like, I guess I do try to appeal to things that I know that they're interested in. I know if we get into the talk of like age, oh, it's so much fun, the stuff that people mention growing up, where it's like, oh, well, I think I heard about that a couple years ago, but that definitely wasn't around when I was a kid. Like, any kind of conversation about 90s media, I'm like, oh, fuck me, I was barely around in the 90s.
Oh, you make me feel so fucking old.
Oh,
too.
see, here we go.
Me too.
I'm feeling old.
Oh,
Here
wow.
we go.
Oh,
And
well.
that's exactly my point. That's a little bit of like what we got going on. And it's fun. Like, I have come to learn as I have grown up that aging is such a privilege. I went from, I guess, being mad about the pandemic taking some of my earlier developing years from me. And instead, I've been like, yeah, what a privilege to get to grow up, and this is so much fun, and I feel like I've got more brain cells than I had years ago. Like, this
That
is
is a
great. I love
great
being
point.
mature.
Yeah. No, I always like consider like those 3 years of the pandemic like robbing me of like being 29, 30, 31. And I'm like, fuck, those were some good years, but like it wasn't all bad either, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I had chronic fatigue. I slept away more than a decade of my life, basically. The feelings are very valid.
It's tough
Sorry,
because
I really didn't
it's
mean that to sound like I was trying to one-up you. I was
No,
just...
No, not at all.
No, it's like
I'm-
very much a feeling that you get because youth is such a currency in like our society. And like the minute you think you don't have youth anymore, it's over for you, you know?
Yeah,
And
hag
it ties into
maxing.
sex work too, where like, you kind of feel like if you're not some barely legal teen, what is even my worth, right?
Exactly.
I think that's one thing that's very positive is that you can be older and do sex work. It's more like accessible with lewd tubing, like you like, not that you have to have like the perfect body or whatever to do like lewd tubing or IRL sex work or be a porn star or whatever, but like I think that, I don't know, people who don't want to like show their face or their body or whatever don't have to. And I think that that's one of the really great things about the lewd tubing experience that helps separate, I don't know.
Sort of
No,
the
I
conventional
totally agree.
pitfalls of sex work,
yeah.
Conventional
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Sorry for the
Apples
meandering
and
point,
36.
but yeah. Yeah, it helps with like age. It's like an age neutralizer in terms of getting to know different people. Because like I'm sure that Burb and I probably would not have run into each other like on the street. You know what I mean? So, but like now we're here on the same podcast or like same thing. You know what I mean? With like Lady Mystiq, we would have never met. She's in a whole different country than me. But
Yeah, tonight's podcast
But we
is
got to
across
hang out
3
and it was
continents
awesome.
and 4
Yeah.
time zones.
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. There's also a great equalizer when it comes to like online lewd content creation because like when it comes to porn and sort of the gatekeepers of that, like there's a lot of things that prevent you from like being in that space. And like this is a society that doesn't value mature people, especially mature women. Like mature male porn stars have like fucking Ron Jeremy could be like 80 years old and still like doing his thing.
Porn baron,
Nobody gives a
yeah.
shit. Like, or like people like criticize like Kim Kardashian for like being a mom and like doing like nude photo shoots. Like, there's a weirdness when it comes to like being of a certain age or being a mom that people don't want
Yeah.
you doing like lewd tubing.
But
like,
people love MILFs, so like make
Yeah.
up your fucking mind.
Yeah, but the
Yeah,
MILFs are like
yeah.
25 and a little thick. Like that's the MILF in the conventional porn industry.
Yeah.
I think it's natural because like in society, women's always been like the value of women is through their youth and their looks. So it's
Yeah,
always
the fuckability basically.
in that way. And
Yeah.
yeah, so
With lewd tubing, it gives you that,
tubing,
though.
it's lewd tubing is the, like Susie said, the neutralizer.
I think something that I came across while I was doing some reading for a different episode, that it's not that men do not have value placed on their appearance or that they are not held to unrealistic beauty standards at any point, but classically, particularly in decades and centuries past, men have more avenues through which they can accrue worth and status than women, apart from their appearance. So some, just because I see we've got like a lot of viewers and stuff, I don't want male viewers to feel that any body pressure or like pressure regarding their appearance that they have been subjected to is invalid. It's not invalid at all. But women's worth is classically tied to their appearance, their virginity or perceived purity,
No, it's true.
Status that is conferred upon them by their parents or their siblings, and they had classically fewer opportunities to accrue their own worth outside of that context.
Yeah, it's true. It absolutely is a difference because, as previously mentioned, like men can be as old as they freaking want and be in sex work, and it does not matter.
I'll put my note back in her cage now.
You're fine.
Yeah, but I think that the technological era is really revamping some of these old archaic scaffolding of society, if that makes sense. Like the scaffolding is being changed now because the information is freely shared. And there's also like not just Playboy and Hustler being the distributors of porn now. Everybody can distribute their own porn or their own, well, each and every single one of us are our own broadcasting station, now. So like
Our own niche.
there's exactly. So I think that there's so much more being discovered in like people's kinks and what people like because it was so shaped by mainstream media because that was the only thing that was being distributed. But now there's so much distribution that people can really explore different things that they might like. I think that that's also why you see BDSM becoming so much more popular. That's also why different kinks are becoming so much more widespread because feet I mean like just so many even
The
like
democratization
censoring
of
kinks.
Yes.
Yeah, the democratization of
for
feet,
you.
exactly. Yeah, like people who love censor things, people who love tentacles, whatever the fuck you love, it's like out there now at your fingertips. So you don't have to go to a shady dude at the corner and and feel embarrassed about buying your tentacle porn. Now you can buy it freely.
Of course.
I think
Are you having
I
some
think-
issues with your mic, Craven? I can see your mouth moving, but we
No.
can't hear you. You might be muted.
No, I'm good, right?
What do you feel?
Yeah, I think we're
Oh,
fine.
yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
you can hear.
Sorry, I saw your mouth
Yeah.
moving and I thought you might be speaking.
Oh no,
David was
I'm
just chuckling to himself.
My tentacles tend to have that effect on people. Sorry, Susan, I'll get them out of your face. Boom.
Oh no, you're good. It's fine. I'm an alien. I can handle.
I think also with the rise of when 50 Shades of Grey came out,
Yeah.
Oh, God.
BDSM
it was
became
such a
so
weird-
mainstream, and then it was so bad, and I was like, no,
it
this is not what
misunderstood
BDSM
kink
is, guys.
entirely. But
Made
like
me
it
sigh.
still like brought people into like the lifestyle because it like had the
This
mainstream
is
appeal.
fan fiction of the kink.
Yeah.
Not every art is perfect.
Exactly, and like sometimes you just have to meet people where they're at. Like they may not have the full understanding of like how to explore a kink safely, but they can get it by coming to us because we are.
It was awoken.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Like
I
being a
think
safe
that-
space to explore kink is just an important thing for like
Yeah.
online content creators.
I think it's also opened up a world of so much more nuance, because if you think about porn from even like say 10 15 years ago, like
Yeah.
max, there are you went onto a website and there were tags, and like if you weren't conventionally attractive and white, then you would have like a tag dictating your race, or like being a fatty fancier, or whatever the case was. Like you would be sort of
Like Asian.
We call them
You know,
BBW, Mystique, not fatty fancier.
I couldn't think of the word.
And we call the lovers chubby chasers.
Yeah,
Fatty
and
fancier
like,
is what you feed to a cat.
Very fancier though.
or like
I'm
if
gonna
you were
use that
older,
now.
you'd be like a grandma or something. You were pigeonholed
Gilf.
sort of against your will, or in spite of yourself,
Or
And I
racialized,
think-
like ebony, Asian, Latina.
yeah,
That still happens so
absolutely.
much though.
Yeah.
But
That's still,
I-
and The Asian hashtag is crazy though. Exotic Asian.
If I fucking
She's
use
like,
it, I
yeah,
fucking
but you
use
go
the
crazy,
hashtag
though.
Asian. I
I
use
used
it.
the hashtag
Yeah,
Asian.
fucking,
I
you
was
fucking
like,
use it,
Fucking
bitches.
use
That's
it.
right.
I was like,
The
I need to
position
get
of
in
this
the algorithm.
podcast is like fetishize yourself as much as you want. It's different with sex work, honestly.
Yeah,
It's
I
different
think
with sex work. It is. Yeah.
I think that being able to be individual sort of sex workers without catering
Yes.
to a porn website where you have to tick certain boxes and you're sort of pigeonholed into those roles and nothing more, has given rise to so much more nuance and depth of experience for the viewer, because there are things that are mixed or things that, come out of places that are completely unexpected.
Yeah. I like
I
it.
kill conversations so
No,
much.
no,
we're
I was just about to
digesting.
say. Yeah, I was just processing.
My bird's
Yeah.
bosom.
Processing. Yeah.
Exactly. So Peace Cloth has a good point. Like, it's a double-edged sword because the tags help lead you to that content too. And like,
That's why we say fetishize yourself as a sex.
it's like, I don't know how many of you are looking for an Asian guy like to do
Hey,
it too,
yo!
but like, I will have that tag there. If you
Yeah.
find me that way, then all power to you.
Honestly, fair. I do that too. Like I hashtag Asian, hashtag chubby.
Get it?
Exactly. All right, so chat, here's your chance to get the last bit of questions in for our panel. I'm gonna ask from our prepared list also. Give me 1 sec. I'm looking at my list. So let me ask you this, panel. What are your warning signs that someone might be developing an unhealthy attachment to you?
I have one. You
Yeah.
know, like if you ever make a tweet or like a post and then straight up they message you DMs.
Instead of commenting on it?
Yeah, instead of commenting on it, they
Oh.
just straight up message you in DMs like, hey. And then they expect you, they get angry when you don't reply to them immediately.
So for example, if you tweet
Da-da.
like a hentai pic, like it's like, I want to be fucked like this, and then they come to your like DMs like, yes, me, hello, hi.
That or like any normal like tweet. Like they know you're awake, which is really weird because like
That's the
fancy
thing.
If you know that they know
Schedule
that they're
things,
awake,
right?
it's a problem.
Yeah, like they know you're awake. They know
Okay,
you're
but
awake.
I
and then
literally
they
did this like
freaking
2 days
text
ago
you.
when I'm like, oh yeah, Shimmy's asleep right now.
Yeah, but
No,
that's not a
that's different.
problem.
That's like,
You're their
that's
friend.
not the problem. We're friends, but this person, like, they don't know me well. We're not like BFFs, and we don't talk to each other, interact as much, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
And then,
They
I
straight
know
up-
she's awake, so I can
I
message
know
her
she's
to make
awake.
sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, demand that she messages me
That's
back.
insane.
She doesn't have an excuse.
She's like, "You're awake, right? Like, you're awake, so you can reply me right now." That's like the number one warning sign for me because I have so many guys doing
If they
this
know
to
your
me.
sleep schedule.
It creeps me out.
Yeah, they in the beginning of
No,
my
that's a
sort of-
definite warning sign.
in the beginning of
That's
my
like
content
the
creation.
beginning
I would,
of talking.
yeah, in the beginning of my sort of content creation journey, I would post something and have like 2 or 3 people DMing me immediately after I posted like a lewd art picture or something.
Okay, but I don't mind people. Okay, let's get real though. I don't mind people like sliding into my DMs. Like I still think. all right, hold on. For me, I would be okay with like somebody sliding into my DMs with like something like that I posted or something, because I think that that's like hot because I have a praise kink. So if they're like, oh my god, you look so hot in this, fuck yeah, bring it on. But like, don't be like tracking when I fucking sleep. You know, like there's a difference there.
So, like, what is your line for like DMs, Susie? Like, where do you sort of like be like, oh, this guy is a little too into me right now?
I mean, like, see, that's where if they're paying me, like, that's where the levels come in, right? You know,
Right.
like if they're like paying my rent, bro, like we're gonna be talking daily. You know, like I'm gonna be Discord messaging them. You know, like there's a difference there. But if they're just like some random off Twitter that's like getting hard from something I posted, like I will take the compliment and I probably won't respond, but I still think it's hot. You know,
Right.
but like
Yeah, no,
if they're
this
they're,
is
like-
people who were trying to get me to like do stuff.
Oh yeah, no. See, that's when when you're trying to give me stuff for free. Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and like this is like the good thing about the transactional nature of sex work. Like
Yeah.
you can gauge someone's like ability to take your time and sort of like based on like their value to you. And I know it sounds crass as fuck, but honestly, this is a business. So I think the biggest pitfall is not treating this like a business sometimes.
I mean, I think that you have to balance it. You have to not treat it like a fucking like industry fucking corporation type business, right? You have to treat it like a mom and pop fucking store where you know everybody. You like it's like your bar, you know. Like I mean, for me, it's a brothel, you know. But whatever.
No, that's valid. That's absolutely valid.
Yeah. So it's like I'm like a courtesan or something. You know, it's like your customers, your regulars, your whatever. I mean, it's similar concepts. It's more intimate, I think, with somebody that does stuff on Fansly than just like Twitch. I think, but yeah. Yeah, I think that there's different levels of intimacy that can be shared with people. It depends on what people are comfortable with. But yeah, no, if somebody's paying my rent, I'm definitely down for like Discord messages, whatever. Like there's
that's like the crux of why I even have this like topic here, because like everybody says like, oh, this parasocial thing is so bad, it's terrible.
It's not, no.
At the end of the day, like there are levels to this stuff, and we are people who trade in this, and like depending on your level of comfort interacting with this, it really does matter at the end of the day.
It's your own boundaries that super matter.
Literally any kind of performer trades in parasocial relationships.
Yes.
Because if there were no parasocial relationships, nobody would ever come back. Because they wouldn't think about you after you were stopped being in front of their face.
Because you see it on Twitter all the time. It's like, at so-and-so, like, gamergirl24 is, like, a bad person and very parasocial. It's like, no, everyone's parasocial, so like what else you got? Like
I guess circling back to your question, like if somebody's throwing up red flags, for me that looks like if they are DMing me multiple times, like when I said if people are DMing me, you know, a simple like hi, whatever, stays in the message request, because I got a weird feeling about this one. Or the age-old question, hi, can I ask you a question?
Oh God. No, I don't want any art.
Please not that.
That's a choose your own adventure right there. Now, for me,
sometimes I do like to waste your time. It's fun to waste your time, okay? Maybe I mean like that.
The actual book, sure, but I'm not doing this like song and dance with some rando who's just gonna like try to show me a product. Now, this is coming from an experience that I'm kind of like, there's somebody who I'm keeping my eye on because I don't know if this is going to become a problem, but it's a series of DMs that are sitting in my message requests that I have not entertained because I had a weird feeling that there's like a little attachment style going on just in the way that they're talking. But you know when people kind of like talk like boomers, like I'm picturing like this is somebody who sounds like my mom texting me. The way that it's like a mix of capital letters and like, you know, I'm a fucking weirdo who uses emojis. I guess emojis aren't cool anymore, but I'm still doing it. I feel like it ages me doing it, but whatever. But there's a slew of emojis.
You say that, you make me feel old as fuck.
Lucky Charm salad. I'm sorry.
Emojis all the time.
That emojis are still cool.
That's not very skibbity toilet of you, Atra.
I hate life.
But anyway, they send me, you know, the Lucky Charms.
Not very demure.
It's like emojis, weird capitalization, multiple messages being like, I just think you're so cool, I love you, whatever. No, I'm not.
The love bombing.
No.
Yeah, like no. I see this being an issue. And I'm just keeping my eye on it because I'm like, you know, if
also,
you're paying me, sure.
People who keep DMing you when you don't respond. Like
that's a red flag. Yeah, that's a red flag for sure.
102 is fine. But like when they keep DMing you,
yeah,
and you don't respond, and they keep going, like no, stop.
Yeah.
So
and again, like, oh, sorry.
No,
just
go
like
ahead.
with my own
that was
content.
So Canadian of you, but I loved it. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. No.
I'm a very like on my own terms kind of person. I've always been like that, but I bring that into like my stance on content creation as well, where I said like, you know, I'm not in voice chats because I don't have the time. I'm so sorry. So in my mind, I'm like, this is trimming one way that I could
Yeah.
have people develop an unhealthy attachment style, maybe I will become somebody who entertains voice chats, whatever. But same thing with DMs. Like, I answer a DM when I feel like it, if I feel like it. And if people are dogpiling their DMs on me, that just pushes me away further because I'm like,
Yeah.
I especially don't like being told what to do.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, same.
Absolutely. I mean, I know what mine are, and I'd be interested to hear what Craven's are as well. But I feel that the effusive praise and like sort of the continuous like flow of DMs can be a little bit concerning, because I feel like people want to test your boundaries. Like that's what they're doing when they sort of like DM you quite a bit or try to like tag you in things. I don't know if you've encountered this, Craven. Like, I know we talked about a bit about like people who are trying to speed run friendships and such. It's what makes me a bit concerned to do like things that are a bit more intimate, like ASMR. I don't know if you feel the same way.
What gets me is like when they're like straight off the bat just like horny, or
Yes.
like you have to earn that shit, you know? Like you can't just be like, oh, I want to sit in your lap and, or like let me like whisper sweet nothings into your ear, Craven. I'm like, ew, no, I don't know you. I don't even know how you say your name properly. Like, I don't know.
It's like
The free
yeah.
writers.
How do you
Also,
pronounce
people
your
who
name, by the
can't
way?
have a regular conversation. Like, I watched a stream where some people were playing a game and there was someone there who was like horny for the streamer, and every single comment the streamer made, this person would have like a sexual flirtatious comment, like, ooh, I would want to do that to the streamer, or like, oh, the streamer can do that to me anytime. And it was just on and on and on, and nobody was comfortable or happy on that stream. And it was just like, that's just, you're guaranteed to never be invited back if you do that shit.
I get
Quick
a
tip
lot
for anybody
of...
who wants to do that though. What makes it hot is if you're paying. All right. So if you're tipping while saying those nasty things, you might
no,
get
this was
a
a
little
person
bit better
in
of
the
a
collab.
response.
This was a person in the collab on the stream.
Oh, ew.
That being said, I do think that's a very refreshing way to look at it, Susie, if I'm being completely honest with you.
Yeah.
But Susie's right though. When,
Susie's
like,
Sorry,
right.
I'm
tips you-
totally. I keep it up, like real. You know, like fuck.
Susie's real right.
Also,
If
Craven,
someone
did
tips you and
did you
tells
have
you
more you
dirty.
wanted to add? I sort of jumped in as soon as you finished.
I mean, yeah, there's that, and then like what Burb was saying, like I don't like when people like DM me like constantly. That's like another like red flag when they keep DMing me over and over when I haven't like responded to them. That's just like, it doesn't matter who it is, like even my friends or anything like that. It takes me a while to respond back. So when you keep doing that, I'm just like mixing not respond back at all, and I'm gonna put you on my radar.
I will say one gigantic red flag to me from other creators is when they'll like hop into my DMs and be like, I'm a big fan of yours. Like, I don't know you. I've never seen you before in my chat in my life. I think you see the people around me, and I think that's what you're reacting to. And then like I will go to your history and see how you interact with other people, and just be thirst comments on people's like posts and stuff. And I'm like, oh, you're not a fan of me. You're a fan of people I hang out around with, and like, I'm not gonna enable you. I'm not gonna.
This is an
you.
op.
Yeah, exactly. This is an op.
Yeah.
It's like, don't tell me you're a big
Do you
fan of
think I'm
mine,
dumb?
and you
You
can't
thought-
name like the one of the last 5 games.
Like the last game I played.
Yeah, exactly. You're
was
not
my
a
last
fan.
script? Now.
You're not like us. All right, you're wannabe.
You're not one of us.
You're not one of us. I'm sorry, like
No, I
that was an aside, but that's a particularly like thing that I have like as a creator, like that it's perceived to have clout but doesn't actually have clout, is people coming in and like, I'm a big fan of yours. Like, no, you're not. Fuck off.
Yeah. I think, yeah, we meet a lot of people through the depths, and people see us interacting with those people and think, oh, they must have like a similar level of clout and they're far more accessible. But we're far more accessible because we don't have that level of clout, quite frankly.
Oh my god, that's so
true.
good.
That's true.
That was an iconic moment, right
It's like,
there.
what clout?
Oh my god, yes.
Could I actually, since I've seen a couple questions, could we get elaboration on like when you said the way that people interact with other streamers? Because I'm taking it like looking through somebody's replies on Twitter.
So I'm coming from the perspective of like I get DMs on both Fansly and Twitch from smaller creators who insist that they are fans of mine and want advice. But the advice generally is like they don't actually make content though. So it's like, oh, I want to get into VA work, and it's like, do you have any advice for me? I'm like, okay, like, are you doing
That's
VA
super
work?
general.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Have you tried it all?
Have you tried it all? And the answer is no. Like,
yeah, I get that a lot
okay,
too.
so just people who like did not put the research in, asking you for like that,
Using you like
or
Google
Dummies guide on how
right.
to, yeah.
Because like there's this
Yeah.
perceived like, okay, if you're like popular like on a platform and such, like that you know something they don't know and that you can help boost them forward. And I think like that is some level on the scale where it's like, you don't know anything about me. You're just perceiving me as an entertainer, as someone who can boost you. Like, that's a gigantic red flag to me.
The audacity meter
Those-
goes off.
Yeah.
Those real general questions, I think, are also, one, very lazy, but two, they don't actually want advice that they can put into practice because that would require work. They want the sort of dummy's guide to becoming you and just basically stepping into the exact same level of, whether it be expertise, whether it be clout, whether it be fame and fortune, whatever it is. They just,
exactly.
They just,
if I see you making the content, I will 100% help you, like give you advice and such. If you don't do any of that and you reach out to me as like, how do I become you?
Oh my god.
'Cause if you
Wait,
make
I have a
content-
story about this.
Yes.
I have a story about this. Oh my god, I have a story about this. Okay. So one of my friends, they're going to remain nameless, but they are a lewd tuber, and someone that was a new, I don't want to like date it, but like somebody that was a new like content creator was often seen in their like trying to like be in their streams, like trying to like cozy up to everybody that they knew, like kind of fucking like weird. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, as it keeps on going, they like ended up starting to like use the same kinds of avatars, the same kinds of like even going so far as to like doing things sexually that they never had done before in attempts to be more like this person. And so like it all boiled down to the fact that this person was literally like trying to like become my friend, and like it was like parasocial to like the scary point, like where she was like trying to like DM like their subscribers and like crazy shit. It was just like insane.
Ew.
So like that kind of stuff, I feel like creators can almost be more scary
They can be, absolutely.
like than just
can be.
followers, because like holy shit, that stuff is real. It happens.
Yeah.
They
There's
try to
actually a
like
great
steal your whole
question in chat.
identity.
Is it good business to pay to collab? This is from SB. Or is it pretty much expected? As far as like sex work and stuff goes where you're getting paid tips, it's generally good etiquette to split your revenue with
Yes.
your fellow performers.
Yes.
But I have never encountered a situation where someone has had to be paid to appear like on someone's stream. I'm not sure which
I've
one
heard
you meant,
of-
so I'm just answering both questions in case.
I've heard of like big VTubers like charging
Having appearance
appearance fees. Yeah. Like I think that does happen. You pay for collabs in that way. If you want to collab with like a really, really, really big person, you know, like I'm talking like probably like 70K plus type of like
Like
following.
the top
Yeah,
dogs.
like
yeah.
Bao
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Shiley and all those
Exactly. Like
people.
you do have to pay to collab with them. So like if you're wanting to do that, like great, but like just know that you won't benefit that much off of it if you don't already have a framework like put in place. Like most people wouldn't benefit if you just go out of the blue and like go there, because like you don't have any type of community built up. You don't have like a framework. You need to like get a lot of logistics in
Yeah,
place.
there was
before
someone
that.
who paid tens of thousands of dollars to Sea Dog VA's charity auction. So like
Yeah.
Oh,
collab
yeah.
with like
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Iron
the person with
Mouse.
3 of them.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think
Yeah,
it
it
might be
happens
Christmas
frequently.
cards.
None of us
Yeah.
can name, which goes
Right.
to show like how much of
Yeah.
an effect that has.
Exactly. See. Exactly. So
And,
like,
like,
unless
maybe-
you're already mid-sized or bigger, it doesn't really help you.
Like
it really
maybe
doesn't.
that will help them get there, but it's not guaranteed. So you better be careful when you spend your money like that.
You're
Yeah,
more
I
likely
just-
to lose some of your people to them. Like
Yeah.
you're
true.
honestly more likely to lose some of your following to the bigger streamers. So it's not really like beneficial for you in any way.
Yeah. Atra's not paying me to be here. I just fell into the cat distribution system and I just like came in and then never left.
The
Aw.
LewTuber distribution
Aw.
system. No, but I always split my tips, and I think like that's good general advice for like LewTuber etiquette. Like you should split your tips, because this is my biggest like ask for Fansly. Fansly, if you're watching this, give us a mechanism to split tips. Like
Yeah.
we need that.
Let's collab partners and split. tips.
I just dual stream a lot with the people that I often stream with, and that works well.
Yeah, if they
Yeah.
stream too, then that's all good. But like most of the time, people don't style
Yeah.
stream with me, so I just give them like a share. of what I
Yeah. Yeah, splitting tips would be dope.
get. Yeah. So
Also,
chat.
saving VODs. Wait, while we're at it, saving VODs. Please,
VODs,
yes,
please, the VOD
Please,
system.
I
Please,
can't say
Fansly.
how many times I forgot to record like halfway
Please.
through.
Oh
and
my
I'm
God.
like, "Shit, I have to record.
Uploading the VODs is absolute
Especially
hell, and I hate you for that every single
When you
time
set
I
up
do
a
it.
collab and then you're busy organizing the collab, then you forget to record the VOD. Because
Ah.
that happens to me
I
for
have
the
a
golf.
checklist now.
Yeah,
Yeah, like we did a Golf with Friends collab with like 8 people and like only one other person was streaming. So the tips were split between the 8 performers.
yeah.
'cause
But like
we
an
all
hour
contributed.
in, I remembered to start recording because like I was busy setting the
Oh,
goddamn
see,
collab.
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah,
Wasted
See?
content.
it
Fuzzy
is,
gets
it is.
people to
Fansly,
scream
come
at
on.
me. He pings my Discord when I'm live on Fansly and tells them to go and shout
Literally
at me to
for like
record my
fans,
VOD.
like you know how like aircraft have a
shouted.
checklist to like before they take off.
Yeah,
You need the same thing for
Um,
fans. Like, are your toys on?
I'm-
Are you connected to like the Love Ants app? Like, are
Light
you recording?
checklist.
yeah. Cabin
you
crew,
unmuted?
arm doors, and cross check.
I'm dead.
Literally, that's what it is. I'm gonna make myself one of these. 'Cause I always forget one thing.
You should have. What I do is like, you know, like the stupid notepad, a sticky note we have
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
our. I have that on all the time before I go to fans. It turns on anyway when I turn on the computer, so that's
so funny.
always there, and I'm staring at it. And then chat will be like, "Shimmy, have you recorded? Shimmy, don't forget to record. Shimmy, make sure you record the VOD."
Yeah, I've got like
So,
a
it's-
16 gigabyte like hard drive that's like being slowly filled up with like VODs right now. I need Fansly to host those for me, please.
Please, Fancy,
Yeah.
we beg. We begging.
But yeah, this is a bit off topic. Chat, this is your absolute last chance to get any questions for our panel. And before we go to plugs, I do sort of want to revisit our list. And I know we had a question in chat also. So actually, yeah, let's end on a lighter note. This is from Penguin Ash. It's a bit of a lighter topic, but what's one of your favorite interactions with your communities?
Oh, that's hard.
I would
go
say
first?
my favorite interaction is when I can pull people in to game with me, like especially like games that I've always like. I went through the pandemic. I had some friends, but like I went through the pandemic when Among Us was very popular, when like people were playing these awesome multiplayer games, and I had such gigantic envy. I'm like, I wish I could play Among Us with friends, and now I can, and it's fantastic. Just add everyone who wants to play Among Us. 8 people.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
this is before I became a content creator, but when I was hosting, when I owned the Femdom Discord server, a Dom got in and she turned out to be a Nazi. And I wasn't online, none of the mods were online, and she started being abusive towards the subs and very, like, saying horrible slurs, and the entire community, they didn't respond, they closed ranks and they said, "You're not welcome here, you need to leave." And, like, they pinged me and the mods, and, like, when one of us came and banned her, you know, obviously with extreme prejudice, I was so proud of my community for closing ranks and protecting each other, and, like, just saying, "You're not welcome here, just shut the fuck up. We don't do this, leave." So that was my favorite.
Holy shit.
That's insane.
That's so crazy.
Nazi femdom was not on my list of, like, things that we're going to talk about today.
That was not on my bingo card for 2024, but
Bingo
here we
card.
are.
she fills in the blank space.
But I love that
was a wild way to start a favorite interaction story.
I was just so proud of how my community,
the defeat of the evil
came
Nazi
together.
femdom.
Yeah. Well, you know, their uniforms were designed by Calvin Klein, so...
Hugo Boss.
Oh no, Hugo Boss! Not Calvin
Hugo
Klein!
Boss.
Don't sue me, Calvin
Don't
Klein!
get us sued by Calvin Klein, please.
Not Calvin Klein.
Ooh, here comes that LaBelle lawsuit.
Ah.
I'm seeing a chat.
But yeah,
Bunny
I
is
was-
saying
I was so proud of
sleepover
him.
is my favorite Craven memory. Yes, that was a fun one.
Aww.
Yeah.
Aw.
I remember like hopping back in, like, yeah, you guys are still going, and like, yeah, no, they were.
I've got to say, throughout this episode, there has been so much love and praise and respect for Craven from chat.
Yeah.
Like, it is clear how much your fans adore you and how much they think of you.
Gone, I don't deserve them.
Yes, you do.
And it's
Shut
so
the
They're so
heartwarming.
fucking lovely,
You.
man.
You foster your community, you know, and we
Exactly.
can see like how wholesome, like what you are, like from how wholesome your community is.
Yeah, they're
That's-
like...
Use wholesome to describe Craven.
No, absolutely.
Who, me?
People say that about my server too.
Really
People are
wholesome,
like,
though. Don't you
"Oh,
feel
your-
like I
your
sometimes
server
look
is
at
so
his
wholesome."
streams and I was like, he's low-key wholesome.
Yeah. No, people always say like, "Oh, like your streams are so your community's so wholesome." Like, yeah, of course it is, because like
It's
know,
wholesome in like a different way. I don't know if like wholesome is the right like exact term to describe it though, because like it's still lewd as
I
fuck.
think it is. Wholesome doesn't
Yeah,
they
necessarily
corrupted
mean
me.
not lewd, right?
Yeah,
That
I
would
mean
be
it can be
chaste.
wholesome lewd, you know, like
Lewdsome.
But
wholesome
the love and community is wholesome.
Yeah.
I've
Like
disappeared.
the amount of love and mutual respect between, like,
Respectful,
the
yeah,
community members,
respectful,
yeah.
yeah, respectful, loving, supportive, yeah,
It's like we said, like
yeah.
there's people always being like, "Good morning, good afternoon" in our
Wholesome.
servers.
awesome.
Not a wholesome.
Because like when you
God.
engender a
I
community
mean-
that like people care about each other and like they like are respectful toward each other, it gives the appearance of wholesome even when it's not.
Yeah,
When-
exactly. That was my
When people talk to each
Now that
other
you're
as
not- yeah.
much as they talk to the streamer, that's the sign of a healthy community.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's like fuck. Like I wasn't even like expecting like when I created like my community or my Discord, I was expecting like for them to be like become friends with each other and like making their own group chats or like hanging out in each other's streams or all that jazz. Like hearing like them like hanging out with each other IRL is like, damn, that's crazy. Like
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, that's
That's
like
like
I
I
genuinely
like I
consider
caused
you like a role model like in this community as a male VTuber, straight up.
Yeah.
Sailor Moon says, "Big Craven green flag. When his community members get harassed, he gets super protective and makes sure they're okay." Exactly.
That's good.
Because when it comes
Yeah,
to
don't
content,
don't
this
fucking
can
come
be
for my community. I will turn
Yeah.
into a fucking bear.
absolutely because this is the Wild West out here when it comes to like
Oh,
lewd
yeah.
content. Like when it comes to parasocial people, lewd content, and like people being inappropriate. Like you are your own advocate at the end of the day, and you protect your community, like straight up.
And community protects the streamers too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have a lot of times in when I'm on Fansly and I'm streaming, and some rando comes in and thinks like he's Daddy Dom, you know.
Oh,
Chat-
Christ.
Chat does not entertain. They'd be like, "Get out of here, boy."
People who come up to me and like do the RP thing of like pats your head or call me a good girl, I want to put knives in them. Like, you don't know me enough to pat my head. Go away.
My thing is like I really like my community. Like if somebody comes in and is like degrading, my community knows that I like to be degraded, but I like to have it whenever it's like praise and degradation at the same time. So like my community will immediately be like, no. Like she is. I don't know if I can say that on. I don't think I can say that on Twitch.
Just say it. It's okay. Just say it.
It's fine.
Like okay, so like if she's like, and like somebody's like, oh, you little dirty cum slut. And like no, she's our cute dirty little cum slut. You know, like
Yeah.
like
She
they
is the
like
people's cum
auto.
slut.
Yes, yeah. No, or she was like our princess cum slut or some shit. You know, like it's like when the community knows its boundaries and it's like, and you've enforced your will and it's been, you know, well, like the propaganda has been well received, you know. They know how to be that way, you know. They know how to stick up for each other and you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You can tell a lot about a community by how they treat like newcomers as well. And like I don't have a lot of like energy to be in people's chats as much as I'd like, but like with Craven's chat, whenever I go in there are some of the mods that recognize me even though I'm not there often, and will like say hello to me and I can say hello to them, and it feels like being in a social environment rather than like a theater or something where we're all sitting having our own experience watching a streamer. And like it's very much the same with Atra's community as well.
They are like that, yeah.
Mine
But
are
yeah.
a bunch of little gooners, so sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't say jack shit when somebody comes in. All right, I'm gonna be honest, but yeah, they're cute.
It's different. It's different for guys. I think it's different from guys.
Yeah.
The ladies are very supportive of each other.
Yeah, you guys are
generally
sociable
speaking.
as fuck. I fucking love that shit. Yeah, I love whamming.
Nah, but like, you know, even when I collab with like female streamers, like the guys in their chats are the nicest dudes like ever. Like they're so
They
sweet
are.
and like welcoming. Like you don't like
They
I
always
always expected I'd
welcome
get
you.
like jealousy and like some weird vibes. No, they're just like, oh hey, what's up, man? I'm like, oh cool. Hi."
Yeah,
They always
Yeah.
be like, "Hi," and then some of them will like do the stupid sniffer, and I was like, "Y'all stop sniffing people."
That's cute. That's cute.
Mine are often like, hey, new friend,
It's like
what kind
a
of
sniffer
train
or a
games do
chomp.
you like?
But yeah, this has been the Depths Podcast, episode 37, the Parasocial Tightrope. I hope that the biggest takeaway that you guys get, you in chat watching this, is that everything is parasocial. Parasocial is not a dirty word. You need to like understand that there are levels to this stuff. There's a gradient also. I don't think we're gonna change the whole VTubing community with this one little podcast, like to help people understand like the meaning of that term. But I really hope that whoever does manage to watch this, they get a better understanding of what that means and better understands their place as a fan or a creator, like when it comes to making content. I am extremely grateful to our panel tonight. Again, our panel covered 3 continents and 4 time zones, which is a first for the Depths. And
Yeah.
you know, like it is a testament to like how widespread around the world we all are, and like the unifying ability of online and lewd content creation. So yeah, I'm gonna give our guests a chance to do plugs and let us know a bit about themselves. We'll go in the same order we did the introductions with. So starting with Susie, tell us what you got going on.
Well, I stream on Fansly 3 times a week. Friday, Saturday, Sundays. I'm also working on my Twitch channel here. I'm coming back It's happening. I also have a re-debut planned. God knows when that will happen. Soon, TM. And I am also uploading religiously on YouTube to try to do a little bit more of my voice acting stuff with role plays and stuff like that there. So that's pretty much it.
Susie, I appreciate you greatly. Thank you for making your return appearance on the podcast. And remember, if you guys are looking for an own a hole, ownahole.com, use the code Susie underscore
Susie
Q.
underscore Q. Yeah,
You
get your
15%
own a
off on your
hole.
own a holes.
Susie is available.
I am a slinger of own a holes, all right? You better get your own a holes from me.
I sure did. Thumbs up.
Yeah, that butt one looked good.
Exactly.
I'll get one for my partner.
There you
Noted.
go.
Yeah.
Let's go. You gift a gift to your partners. You know, if you can't get one for
Give the
yourself,
gift
get
that
one for
keeps
your
on
partner.
getting. Yeah.
I'm a Loven's
Exactly.
affiliate. I've sold as many dildos as I've sold like male toys for like ladies' partners. Like it's like the order's
That's
like
so fun.
one Nora, one Diamo. I'm like,
Yeah.
more power to you both.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Shimmy, tell us what you got going on.
Hi guys, so I stream on Twitch usually about 4 to 5 days a week, usually weekdays, and then I stream once on Fansly every Sunday. You can watch me play really fun arrow games if you guys are into like RPG arrow games, or like I don't do visual novels because that's too much talking and
It is.
reading. Okay, I have Coomer brain on during that time. So and you guys can follow me on Twitch is Shimi_Shimizu, and it's the same on Funsly. And I think on Twitter I'm Shimi_Shimizu_ because someone didn't took my name.
God damn it.
God damn it! Yeah, but yeah. Thank you so much for having me and enjoy my
Shimmy,
time
thank you
here.
so much for waking up early in the morning to be on the podcast. I really appreciate it.
Technically, it wasn't early. Okay, it's just early for me.
Guys, go follow Shimmy. Shimmy is a fellow DGen. Shimmy loves eroges and VNs. I used to fall asleep to eroge, like visual novels, for like a solid 3 years of my life. So I'm totally I'm part of that lifestyle too. I get it.
Lifestyle.
Yeah. But if you're interested in like seeing some niche games being played on Funsly, give Shimi a follow, please. And next we got VTuber, aka Burb.
I guess I wanted to circle back to the question about like your favorite community event, because I didn't.
Oh sure, yeah, absolutely.
Answer.
Go for it.
But for me, myself, and I have basically said throughout this conversation that I have reservations towards like putting myself out there too much. But during, I think it was December, I went through, I guess, such a binge on Lethal Company because I didn't really have people to play it with. Like, you know, when you try to set up collabs and everyone just, I don't know, nobody pans out. It's that's kind of like my ongoing thing with collabs.
Yeah.
So instead, it became like this impromptu community month, basically, where I got to play with basically the same core group of people, but it was such a pleasure to actually connect with the people who have listened to me yap for hours on end. I have embarrassed myself in front of you guys so many times. You have seen me slip my nips so many times. You've yelled at me for not following TOS so many times. And even though SB blew me up like 4 times, it was so much fun leading everyone to their death and simultaneously trying to appease our stupid corporation. I loved that, and I would love to go back to that at some point. I guess it's just hard coordinating, but don't have much to shill. I am just VTuberb on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Funsly if you care about that. And I am so happy. I'm so humbled that you asked for me to come by.
Absolutely. Burb, whenever you go to Burb streams, Burb has the chillest vibes and are the easiest person to talk to. Every time I've stopped into Burb streams, I've always just been like, oh my god, this is so cozy. She's so fucking cool.
Aw, thank you.
And I really do hope for you that you get that opportunity to keep collabing with folks and like having that community feeling, because it's the best feeling in the world. Like 100%.
I do too. Yeah.
So check out VTuber on all platforms. Next up, Raven. What you got going on, bro?
So I stream 4 days a week on the Twitch. Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern. I stream once a week on Fansly. Every Friday, I'll be streaming after this stream, probably like a half hour or an hour later. I also have a Patreon where I do NSFW, SFW audios, smut readings, doggy pics, and VC calls and all that jazz. And you can find my socials, Craven Blood, BLXXD, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok.
Look at chat go right now.
I know, it's so cute.
It's so cute.
I love you guys.
I mean it when I said it. Craven is a role model for like anyone looking to like get into LewTubing as a man. He has always been the sweetest dude to me, and like 100%. Like you are such a treasure, honestly.
Stop it! Don't make me blush.
Now, kids, guys, what? I have a question.
Mwah.
Yeah.
Can I ask you guys if it's weird? Because, like, my partner was telling me it's weird, but I don't think it's weird. Sometimes I don't want to be a streamer and I have a second account where I just follow all of my favorite streamers and just pretend to be a normie. Is that weird?
That's not weird.
I don't think that's weird.
It's not weird.
It's not
Now
weird, but
kids
just imagine you
parasocial.
I
like
just needed,
a hat
I
and
needed the
sunglasses.
confirmation that I'm
Yeah,
not
in the
weird.
bushes.
in the bushes,
I don't
like
want
watching.
people to know that I'm a streamer and I just like be a little normie.
It's funny as fuck.
And then when I'm like in my streamer account and I was like, I'm such a fan of you, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm not in that account.
You don't know. You don't know that. Wait, what?
No,
Okay,
that's not weird
I
at
just
all.
needed the
No,
reassurance.
not at
Thank
all.
you.
But yeah,
I'm gonna fight with my partner right now.
yeah, give him a good sock in the face.
Get him.
Get him. But also tell him I said hi. Yeah, guys, go follow Craven. Craven is such a treasure. Last but not least, Lady Mystiq. What you got going on?
Hey everyone, I've been Lady Mystiq, aka that pink one that never fucking stops talking. I am oh god, something has happened to my brain. Mystique.exe has stopped working. You can find me over on, well, here on Twitch, over on Fansly on Twitter. All of my links are at ladymystique.tv. If you have enjoyed this episode, it will be posted on the Depths YouTube channel. And we also have a playlist of these explainer videos if you want to reference them at any point. But yeah, there will be a photo and video set of Atramentum and I doing his first performance ever in VR, dropping early next week.
Ooh.
And we've got 6 fully voiced, fully animated video clips that are like a couple of minutes long each. So don't miss them.
Yep. Baby's first time in VRC. Wow. Okay. What is happening with
Everyone's
VT
leaving!
Studio?
I don't know.
Oh, I died. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hang on, I've got something for this. There we go.
There we go!
Oh, I think there was an update.
There's an update, that's why.
Now of all times. Oh my god.
The 3D VTubers are left standing. Ah ha ha ha.
Wait, I have a 3D model. I'm lazy to turn it on.
I'm just
Oh,
joking.
No.
we're at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. We're gonna end here. And I've
3D
been
hoes unite.
Mystique. Thank you as always for
3D
being
hoes unite, it's crazy.
Mystique. Thank you as always for being the co-host on the Depths podcast. I've been your host, Atramentum_X, Rice streamer and LewTuber. You can find all of my links on atramentum.inc. That's INK. The Depths is streamed bi-weekly on twitch.tv at Atramentum_X. Unless it's not sometimes, because sometimes it can be every week, but it depends. Anyway, our next episode will be in 2 weeks on September 6th. We have a teaser for you as to what the next episode will be. But for now, thank you so much, our panel, and have a great night. Hey, welcome back, Burb.
I live.
Am I back? Am I here?
Despawned!
Yay!
But have a lovely night, all you parasocial folks in chat. Good night.
Night!
Night,
Night.
Next time.
Oh my god, I know that from like way back in the day.
Andy!
I know Andy.
I love Andy too. She's so cute.
Yes. I'm not the
Special guest is Mystique.
No, I'm here every week.
Oh.
Mystique, let's
I gotta
go!